complete 5 ReactJS project in 4 hours, maybe less than that, but it will take at least 4 hours. So first 3 project I will complete, and the next 2 project Hari will complete. So that is what the thing. So let me share my screen and let us start. Okay, one sec. And one sec. Yeah, so if you're able to see my screen, yeah, so this is all about. So first project which we are going to do is known as Hangman. So let us do that project, Hangman. So we need to create a React app, npx create React app Hangman. Maybe Hangman is okay. Npx create React app. So this is how we create it. Okay, so one sec. Yeah, let me see. I think I am hello all. Okay. So please try to complete this project. This projects, if you complete even one project, you get the certificate. And the other thing is that this is a part of internship program also. So you need to complete this any one of the ReactJS project to get the internship. So which there are 4 internships starting from October. Okay, so that is there. Now it's doing okay. Yeah, so Hangman is the project in which we are not going to do much API calls or something, but the things which will be here are mainly you are going to learn how to do a React app. Okay, here. So it is not that in a small project; it will be a big project, but a lot of logic is there. So because it's a game, Hangman game. So cd this, and I'll open it with VS Code. Then I'll do as always a npm start. I'll do make it like this here. Let me adjust them. Okay, so those are adjusted. Now okay, so people are coming. So as always, what we are going to do here, first let us delete some of the files and all. So we don't need setup test, this we don't need, this logo we don't need, index.css also we don't need, an app test also we don't need. So I will delete all of them, and it will throw me an error. Of course, you'll see it will throw me an error because index.js have a lot of things. So we'll go to this index.js, and this is what we do in all React projects. Maybe I need to increase the font size a bit. Okay, so I will remove this, I will remove this, I will remove this. There is no index.css also, so I will remove this. Maybe I'll make it a bit smaller, make it a bit bigger. Okay, so this all are removed, and now also we are getting an error because in the app.js we need to do something in the app.js. I will remove all these things, and maybe I will remove even logo, or else it will it will give me error. So this also I'll remove, and maybe h1 Hangman. So what is this game? When we're going to do, I'm going to tell what is this game is all about. So it is like guessing a word. This game is about guessing a word, so we're going to do that. Then I will come here, and as always we're going to start with some components in React src. I'll go and do the components here, and then here header.js. Header.js is there. Then RAFCE. So I have the component. I have this what it is called. So this extension, so that I can do the shortcuts. So header.js, in the components folder, I have created the header.js file and created the skeleton of it. Now let me do something here, and it is h1 hangman and p guess the hidden word, enter a letter. So I'll do this, and now we'll have another components also here. So that component is figure dot js. And okay, so this figure, so hangman is a game in which you see a hangman kind of a structure, and man who is hanging, and what happens, you have to guess some words, and if you guess the wrong words, it will show like a hangman. So we are using svg here. So svg, yeah, you can attend, but you can attend. So we are having very simple projects here, so you can of course attend it. But you should know a bit of react, and react, by the way, we are going to take it in the next week. So every month we have react classes also. So next week the react classes will be taken by me at 8:30 p.m. IST. So that will be there. So yes, you can take and make this projects. Okay, so yeah, so that is there. So what I'm going to do here, there is something known as svgs. So svgs, with svgs you can add, you can create anything. So this is not a react thing, but this is something like a different thing. So I will do those svgs. I won't write the complete thing because we have to complete a lot of projects. Svg, and here I will have a, maybe I'll have some of the things here. Svg, a bit of height and all I will have. Okay, why it is not showing here? Okay, no problem. Anyways, there is no space here. So the next thing which we are going to have is some lines here. Okay, so this lines will be there, but initially I will get rid of this errors is something which will be shown only if the error is there. So if you can see the svg, first thing is the rod is being shown, second thing is the head is being shown, third thing is the body is being shown, fourth are the two arms are being shown, and the more errors will be there, these things will be shown more. Okay, so it will be like that, but all those things will later come on. So it is a game, hangman is a game, so it will have a lot of logic. It is not you can make it in normal html, javascript also, but just to show react, it is there. And we are going to do api call projects also, which are very important for every front-end developer. We're going to do that also, so that will be the third projects. Okay, so that is there. And okay, this I will do, this I will do, save it, but it will anyways, it will not show. So how it will show? So first thing, one more thing, what we are going to do here, the app.js will add some of the stylings here. So this if I go to here, app.css is already here, app dot this will go, and okay, so okay, so we don't want all these things here. So we will have some css here. Let me also, I will take through the css also. So this is our own css. So first thing is that, see, all these things are coming because of that. So box sizing, border box, which we take, then the body, background color, and all those things, font family, display, so that everything can be in the center, align items, height, and all these things are there. Then we have a h1, okay, h1 margin, and game container. All these things we are soon going to create. We have not yet created it, game container, but we are first giving the css. So this is not a css class, so I'm not going to go much through css, but this figure container is something which we have given here. Class name is figure container. So this figure container is there. Then figure part is displayed, and we are going to use this somewhere. Wrong letter container and all these things are there. Wrong letter soon we're going to have. I don't want to come again to this CSS file, so I'm giving this. And then this what is it? And one more thing, we're doing so much. Please do like and subscribe. We're very close to 5,000 subscriber, so please do make it happen in this class only. We'll be grateful, so please do like and subscribe. Okay, so whoever is seeing right now, 7 people are seeing right now, please do like and subscribe. And you can see we are doing a lot for the community, we are doing a lot for everything. Okay, soon we are going to have a lot in Saturdays. We're going to have a crazy 12-hour long live session. 12 hour is the limit of YouTube. See, you cannot have more than 12 hour of live session, so we don't have that 12-hour live session. You can see that it will be there somewhere in our channel also, that 12-hour live session is there. Okay, so that is there. So let me go through more word, and that is for absolute beginner. HTML will be taught, CSS will be taught, JavaScript will be taught, and also communication, English communication, which is a must to get into the IT industry. So all 4 things will be there. And React will be next week. React will be there. So those things are there. So letter again is there. Then this pop-up container, we have given something. Then this pop-up, I'm taking through all through the CSS, so if you want you can do it. Okay, so because we're not going to give the code, this is a part of our internship program also. So you have to prepare one of the project out of these 5 projects to get the internship, which is starting from October. So I think, hope everybody knows this. So pop-up, notification, container, and all those things are there. Okay, so again let me take through it so that if you can pause this and see it. So these are the first things. Okay, so please pause it till here. Then game container, again you can do a pause of here. Again you can do a pause here. Again you can do a pause here. Pause here. Maybe pause here and pause here. So that is enough for the CSS. Now let us go ahead, and in the app.js we are going to go, and here we are going to remove this. We don't want this hangman thing. We want a header component. Why it is not showing me, I don't know. It should show, but it is not showing. So let me have to import it by my hand. Import header from components. I think it is components only. Header, and I want to have the figure also. What is not like this? It is this. So this figure also needed to be there. So both of these things are there. And then so header, see the header is been shown. Then I will have a div dot game container. Div dot game container is there. So game container, I have already given the styles for it, and figure is there like this. Save it. So this is the thing which I was telling. By default, this is a hangman. This should not be shown at the beginning. This should be shown. So this is the game is all about. Guess the hidden word, enter a letter, and if you enter a wrong letter, slowly it gets shown. And this is been shown from here. Slowly, first the rod will be shown, then the head will be shown. So this all will be shown if you guess the wrong word. So this is a very popular game, hangman. So that is there. Now we are going to create some more components here. So here in the components folder, we are going to go and create some more components. First is notification.js. Second is popup.js. Third is word.js, and fourth is wrong letters.js. Okay, wrong letters.js is there. So these things are there. Now Let us create each one of them. So first thing is the wrong letters. I am working on the wrong letters again. RAFCE will be there. Then okay, so whoever is watching here or on LinkedIn, please do like and subscribe. Okay, so we need your help. Okay, so that is there. And here I will have a class name equal to wrong letters container. Then div hash wrong letters. So one ID of wrong letters will be there. Save it. Now word will be there. Again RAFCE. Then div class name equal to word, and ID also equal to word will be there. And soon going to have more things here. Good evening, 𝐂𝐞𝐫𝐭𝐢𝐟𝐢𝐜𝐚, good evening. Save it. Then this pop-up will be there. Good evening everyone, Rajneesh. So this div will be there, and class name equal to pop up container. And so we have styles for all of these things. Okay, pop up container, and ID equal to the same thing, which is pop up container. Good evening Ravi. Pop up container. Okay, so div dot pop up is there, and then h2 hash final. Oh, Nirvan is here, one of my old student. Welcome Nirvan, please do connect with me sometime. Final message reveal word. Final message reveal word. So this ID is there. Final message reveal word. Hope I am giving it correctly. And then the button and hash play button, and it will be play again. Okay, so this pop-up is there, and then we are going to do this notification RAFCE again, and in here I am going to have a class name equal to notification container. Okay, notification container, and P you have already entered this letter. Okay, the notification will be like this: you have already entered this letter. Okay, so that is there. Now in the app.js, finally in the app.js, we're going to use all of them. It is app.js, and we're going to use all of them. So here inside this game container, we'll have the, hope this will give. Okay, it is not even, it's still giving wrong letter word. Generally it gives I have to do it manually. And then after this div, we'll have a pop up and notification. Pop up and notification we are going to have. And 1 2 3 4, I think after figure we have this wrong letters. We have this word pop up notification, save it. So where is it? Sometimes nowadays React takes a lot of, okay, so there is nothing, actually there is nothing written there. Okay, so that's why nothing is been shown. So that is there. Now we are going to work in this app.js only. Here we need to have some words. which everybody will guess. So these are the words which everybody will guess, but we know, and you can use these words. Okay, so any words you can use it. So those words, let us give some words. Const words equal to, like so that will be an array. So application programming, so I should also know what are the words, and then I will have a let selected word equal to words, and math dot flow. Okay, so but every time I want to take a random word, so that's why I'm using these words, and then math dot flow I want to take from here. Math dot flow, math dot random into words dot length, words dot length. Okay, so that is that. Now we are going to have some states here, so let us have those states with a use state hook. Play able comma set play able equal to use state, use state. I don't know why it is not showing anything. Use state true, because I have to do it on my own. Import. Sometimes these things happens, so it wants me to work more. Import use state from React. Okay, so use state is been done. Now let me make it a bit more smaller. Okay, so this is perfect. Now playable is there, like playable is true. Then we'll have two more. One of them is hierarchy city correct letters, and set correct letters, and that will be an array, and wrong letters, and set wrong letters equal to this is there. Then header is there, and this all things are there. Okay, so I'll save it. Nothing will happen. Now we'll write the logic for words to show the words. Okay, so where is my, so a lot of things are there. Let me close some of them. I'll open when it is required. So will now have this words, so it will show us the words. Okay, so here we are soon going to get some props here. We are going to get a selected word and correct letters. Selected word and correct letters will have, and div class word and id word is there. One sec. Okay, okay, so those things are there, and then we'll have selected word, and this selected word and these things, where will it come from. Okay, let me first give it also. Okay, so it will be much more easier to understand. So this word is there. Here I am doing this. Okay, this selected word is there. Okay, so this selected word, I'm passing this as a props, is selected words, and CORR correct letters equal to correct, oh not this, correct letters equal to correct letters, like this. Save it. Okay, so like this is there. Now I will go to this words and I will complete it. So we are getting the selected words, which is actually what, which is any one of the word, maybe application, maybe programming or something. So selected word dot, and in selected word dot split, Like, what is the split? Okay, you should know what is split. Map. So split. Let me, but not looking, might not know. Split JavaScript. So see, what does this method do? Does so okay. Split method splits a string into an array of substring. So if I do like this, it will actually chooses into an array of substring. So that is what it does. Okay, so I'm doing that. So then it will get converted into an array of like application and all this, it will be converted. So then dot map is there, and then in a map I can get a individual letter or a and an index. So in letter, instead of letter you can have any other keyword also. Okay, so letter I have taken, then here, so you should give it to the right place, then here it will come, and then there is one more trick here, I know. Instead of giving a return here, I can give like this also. So instead of return I can give span dot letter, not span dot let, yeah, span dot letter, and here key will be equal to the index, and here the correct letters, it is not word. Okay, correct letters dot includes, correct letter includes the letter. So it is having some very nice JavaScript function. So I'm setting checking that if the correct letters, it includes the letter which I have just entered, then letter or empty string like this. Okay, so this is something which I see now it has been shown. So this is actually been shown because of, okay, class, okay, class. I'll show one thing. Okay, what, see, word is this reflex is all is okay, but this letter which I have given here, class name letter, border bottom, like what is there, 3px display inline flex, font is there, and border bottom is there. Because of that this color is coming, so that is the meaning, this color is coming because of that, and the letter will happen on top of these things. Okay, so that will be there. Now we have done this thing, now we will do the wrong letters. Okay, so one second. So wrong letters also we need to pass something which is wrong letters equal to wrong letters. I'm going to pass it. So now it means we have to create it in the create the wrong letters thing. Okay, no, it is not working. Wrong letters I will open, and in this wrong letters again we are getting this. So I'll copy this and put it here like this, and class name are all are good containers, but this div I don't need anything in this div, so I will cut it, and I want wrong letters dot length is greater than 0, and then p, not package, p wrong like this, and then wrong letters dot map. So here also I'll do a letter comma I. You can take anything. I have taken I, so you can take anything, like in there we have taken index, but let us not take a big thing. So span and key equal to I, and dollar letter and comma. So you'll see when the wrong letters will come, it will show, wrong letters will show. So it will be shown with the each of the letter of the wrong letters will be shown. Okay, so I have done this thing. Now the main thing we are going to do, so we are going to add event listeners for each of the key press. So when this will come, person will have to means press the keys. Okay, Hangman press the keys, they have to do. So let us use that, and for that what we are going to do here in the app.js only, we are going to create everything. I'm creating everything in a one file. You can create it in a different files. Okay, so there will be a lot of code here. So here we'll have a effect use effect. Maybe this use effect, I will do it here, use effect, and like this. And there will be some things here. So this use effect will be called on corrected letters. If someone type the corrected letters or wrong letters, or there will be soon there will be a playable thing, so you can play this game again and again. So that will be for that, so that also will be there. So here first thing what we are going to do in this use effect is window dot add event listener, then key down comma handle key handle key down. So handle key down will be of course a function. And okay, so add event listener. So let us have a remove event listener also, and this is how component will unmount works. Okay, so if you want to learn more about these things, please do see our reactjs beginners tutorial next week. It is from 8:30 p.m. IST. So that is there, that happens every month. It is a certificable thing. Okay, so you'll get the certificate. Okay, return window dot remove remove event listener is also there. So it will be run when this component is been unmounted. Okay, remove event listener, that is there. Now we'll have to create this function, and this will be big function, this handle key down. So I'll come here and do a const handle key down equal to, let me write it event only, event like this. Then const key comma key code equal to event, and then if okay, so what is the key and key code? This is something which we will get from the event will give us the key, so key also, and event will give us the key code also. So this is something which is popular because of Java. In JavaScript, DOM is very very powerful. So event, we can get the key also and the key code also. So whatever the user press on the keyboard, we'll get those things. Okay, so if, then we'll do a if playable. So playable by default is true. We'll have a function to make it false also. Playable and key code is greater than equal to 65. Those who don't know, ASCII key greater than equal to 65, and that is for ABCD. So we want to people to enter to alphabets only. So it is greater than equal to 65, and key code is less than equal to 90. So that is for complete alphabets are from 65 to 90. So we're seeing that they're not entering any special character or something like that. Okay. So then we'll do a const letter. So this project have a lot of logic. Actually all game projects have a lot of logic. So key dot to lower, I don't know why two lowercase I'm going to do. So everything I'm going to make a lowercase or uppercase. So like that we have to do. Then we'll come here, and then if selected word dot includes, if selected words dot includes, and it is letter, selected words dot include letter. Okay, so that is there. Then so the word which is selected, so selected words that includes the letter, then what? Then if not corrected letters dot includes letter, then we have two if statements. Okay, and there will be a else part also, which we are soon going to have. This will be a to do and show notifications for duplicate key press. Show notification for duplicate key press is with it. So we're soon going to see what is happening here. So not corrected letters that includes letter, then set corrected letters will be current and dot 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 cur comma letter, cur comma letter is there, and then this if selected words dot includes this letter, so the else part is that it doesn't include the letter, so selected word doesn't include, so that will be else, that will go in the wrong letters. So same thing will be there, it will go in the wrong, and if not of wrong letters dot includes letter, then set wrong letter and will be like this, and this else part will be like this only, save it. So the letters are getting set. Okay, so that is there. Now letters are getting set. Use effect, when the use effect is called and all the letters and all are going there. Now if I come here and this is some 1 2 3 4 5 6 something is there. Okay, so I'll press something a, so it is wrong, so it is wrong. So whenever I press a, this thing will be running, and this use effect will be running because I have pressed some letter, and then this wrong letters is there. So this wrong letters, I am getting the wrong letter, so that's why this wrong letter will also get, and I will show the wrong letters here. Okay, so that is there, I'll show the wrong letters, but how does the wrong letter is coming? So the key code was inside the alphabet. Okay, so that was there, and then if selected word, so selected word is this, any one of this word will be there. Application, I don't know what is this word, but any one of the word will be there. Selected word that includes the letter, it didn't include the letter which I have just typed. I typed a, it didn't included that, so it has gone to the else part, and else part it has set the wrong letters, so that's why the wrong letter has been shown. Let us see what it is. Okay, so s is there. Okay, so I have this, it is design, actually it is design. Okay, it is design, see it is design. Okay, so I'll do the logic is quite simple, so I'll do d, so this is like this. Okay, and e, then if I do a j, it will come there. If I do f, it will come there. If I do d, it will come there. if i if I do a G, it will come here. Okay, so it is like that, it is like that. Okay, so it is like that, it is coming, so it will, but the logic is not working, so the logic is not working. So now what we need to do, we need to go to the figure. Okay, we need to go to the figure, and because the thing is that at the starting only the whole hangman has been shown, which is not right, whole hangman has been shown. Okay, so to see that, we don't have to show the whole hangman, so that is the game, is that slowly it should be shown. So in the figure also we are going to pass the wrong letters like this, we're going to pass it, and then we have to go to the figure. Okay, figure we have to go, then here we are going to get the wrong letters. Okay, so wrong, letters, wrong letters we're going to do. So wrong letters dot length will give us the how many it is the length. So wrong letters will be a string, so it will be there. So const errors equal to wrong letters dot length. Wrong letters dot length is there. Oh, not like this. Wrong letters dot length is there. Now what is there in the head part? We are going to have a errors is greater than 0, then we'll show the head. Okay, and will be there, and I will cut it here. Okay, one sec. I will better I will have it here. 1 2 3. And lex will also be 2. Okay. So dot 0 is there, it will be this, then 1 is there, it will be this, then this is 2 and this is 3. 2 is this and 3 is this, then 4 and this is 5. So it means you're getting 5 chances. You're getting 5 chances. Okay, so that is there, and I will also do it. I will save it and see. Okay, so it was already some error is there, so that's why it is showing this much. Okay, so I will, if I refresh it, so nothing will show. Okay, so it will appear like this. So again, let us play this. Q, it was wrong, so it is coming. W, again it's showing E. R, I don't know what it is. Okay, it is application actually. It is Dolphin King, yeah, application, because that is the one which is very very good. APP LIC. Okay, so I have to do a Z and I have to do a M. So this is how it is done, but it is not giving us the complete feeling. But at least it is this much it is running, so it is good. So that is there. Now we have to work on notifications, and also if you enter a letter multiple times, like A, I'm entering multiple times, which so I should get a notification. So for this notification, what I am going to do here in this components only, I'll come and do a helper helpers.js. I'll do, and here I'll have a helper means it's a helper function. Okay, so export function and notification pop up setter, and then setter is true, and set time out is like this, and it will be 2000 second. Set timeout 2000 seconds. So after that the setter will be false. So this is a helper method which we are soon going to use. Okay, so notification setup. Now in the app.js, again our app.js is very huge. You should try to figure out how to do it correctly. Okay, so make it small. Okay, so that is it. So import notification pop-up. I think it is coming right. Notification pop-up is coming right. Notification pop-up from dot components. Okay, components, then slash, it is helpers. Anything can be there. Okay, helpers is there. So that is been done. Now what we are going to do, see, there was a to do show notification for duplicate key press. Here we will show the notification. Okay, so we need to have one more thing here. So that will be const show notification comma set show notification, set show notification equal to use state of false, use state of false. Okay, so use state of false is there. Then in this to do I will have this notification pop up, notification pop up, and set set show notification, set show notification. Okay, so this thing, so this is something which we are doing here. And then so you can do this thing also. So what I'm doing here, I am actually passing a set which is a function. So this is something you might have seen first time. I'm passing a function here, I'm passing a function here in the helpers. I'm setter is what, it's a function. So it I'm doing it true, and then after some time I'm making, after 2 seconds exactly, I'm making it false. So this will happen if I press some letter twice in both of those places. Okay, so that is there. And then in the notification we need to do one more thing, is like this show notification is there, show notification is there. And then here I will do this show notification, I will pass. Then the notification component, we have to show the notification component, here I will do the show notification. And here what is there in the in the in the css, if you come in the css, if you come, you see one thing. Okay, so there is a, okay, notification container. Okay, so this notification container is there, and this will be, it is forming a notification container, it will be a pop-up kind of a thing. And the other thing is that this show class is also there. So in React what we can do, this show notification, this is something which is very very good thing in React. I will have this like this, I'll have, then I'll have this tilde, and then based on the dollar show notification, I'm having this ternary operator, and I'll add the show class to it, or this will be like empty string, so no show class will be there. So that is there. Now suppose I enter this R, and I again enter this R. See, you already entered this letter. See, you're seeing it is coming from the bottom. A. Okay, A. I'll again enter this A. You have already entered this letter. So this is something which is come. F is there. F, S. Okay, I think what is this S? I think it is design. DE. So here also, let us see here also. If I press E again, so what will happen? Again E again I will pressing. You have already entered this thing. So this notification is also working quite fine. So now we will show the different messages based on whether we won or lost. So we'll do that. So for that, I will pop up. I will go, and here I will do a correct letters equal to correct letters. Then wrong letters is wrong letters. One sec, this should be there. So wrong letters is wrong letters. Then we have to pass the selected word also here. And there is a playable is there or not? Yeah, playable is there. So I'm passing the set playable here. So I will come here and do the set playable equal to set playable. I'm passing that set playable equal to set playable. Now okay, in the helper helper, I'm going to have one more function. Okay, helper, I'm going to have one more function, which is export function check when it will have a correct, comma, wrong, comma, word will be there, and then let status equal to when, and then we'll have a check for when. So this function will check for when. Okay, so the word which is getting passed, I will have a split, then this dot for each and letter if not of correct dot includes letter status equal to this is there. Okay, and this is check for win. We will have a, actually check for loss will be very easy. Check for lose, I think lose or loss. Okay, if wrong, there is a wrong is there. If wrong is wrong dot length is triple equal to 6, because we are giving 6 chances to the user. Then and this hangman is also have 6 parts. Okay, then status equal to lose or else return status, return status is there, save it. So return status is there. Now it's time to go to our pop-up. So the pop-up, okay, where is the pop-up? Pop-up is there. We're passing everything to the pop-up, but we don't have anything here right now. So in the pop-up, let me take this pop-up here. We will have all those things which we are passing. So passing a lot of things here. So in the pop-up, I get all the props here. 𝐂𝐸𝐼𝐸. Okay, it is not coming. It's better to not type it. It is better. I'll take it from a character letter. Actually, it is not like this. But corrected letters, wrong letters, then selected word is there. Selected word, comma, set playable is there. Then let final message equal to this. The let final message reveal word equal to again this. Then let playable equal to true. Let playable equal to true is there. So those things are there. Okay. So now we'll use this check win method we are going to use. So let us use that. If check win, oh, it is coming finally. Check win, in the check win, I will pass the corrected and wrong and the selected word. I'll pass this thing, so it will return me something. If you see this helper method, it is returning me something, so it will return this thing. So I will do, it will return either, it will return the win, it will return the win. Okay, and return status is equal to win, status is equal to lose. By default it is win, but it will be changed to lose if it is lose. So if it is equal to win, then what, then final message is equal to congratulations, you won, like this. And playable equal to false is there. Else if check when equal to lose done. Final message will be unfortunately you lost. And final reveal word, because we want to reveal the word also. If someone lost, we can reveal the word. And dot dot dot, the word was dollar selected word, and playable is false is okay. Is the playable is false. And we'll have a use effect here. Use effect. Okay, finally it is getting use effect. And then in this set playable will be playable. Okay, so use effect will be called every time. So this is like an infinite game. It will keep on running and all. Okay, so pop-up container and id is something which I don't require, and h2 and all. Okay, this is something which I don't require. h2 h3 button is play again. So that is there. Here I will have a final message. I'll show the final message, and h3 I will show the final reveal word, and play again is there. And one more thing which we need to do here is, okay, so we need to put some styles here. So let me quickly put it. It's a long project. Okay, so style final message not equal to this. Some flex we are doing it here. And set label, one sec. Okay, one more thing we need to do here is here. Okay, so we will do that later on. We'll have one more thing is play again. Something props will be there, which is known as, which will be known as play again. And because we need to have this on click equal to play again. On click will be play again, means the this play again will be passed. So let us go finally to our app.js, and here this play again is actually a function. So we're passing the props in the opposite direction. Method at props, which is known as play again, which again I teach in my ReactJS okay series. Play again will be there. Now this play again is actually a function. So this function, above this return, we are going to create this function play again, and set playable is true, because if you do this, then the playable will be true. Or we will empty the array. Set corrected letters is empty the array, and set wrong letters will be empty the array again. Then we will have a const random equal to, so this thing, let us do this thing, mat.floor, and this word. Oh, why not this thing? Okay, no. Yeah, we can do it. Okay, so we'll do it and save it. So it is coming like this, and let us do it again. 𝐂𝐸𝐼𝐷 it is coming. I don't know what is the word, the blue, but I want to first, it is wizard, but I want to first see whether it is coming or not. See, unfortunately you lost the word was, so it is coming, and play again is also working. So then it's a big word. I think it is application or programming. PRLLPROGRAMMING. Congratulations, you won. So whole thing is working perfectly. So this is how we have created the Hangman. It took us 1 hour to create. Okay, so let us quickly go to the next project, and let me close this thing and control C, CD, dot, and npx is there. Npx create react app. This app is known as contact app. So let us create it, and this will be a very good app, and generally I teach it in the first time, this contact app. So in this contact app, what will be there? Okay, one sec. Okay, so in this contact app, we'll use local storage also. So this is actually a very good app. Okay, so that it be done. After that, the next app will be there. It will be a API call app. Okay, so it will be there. Okay, so cd contact app, open it in VS Code, npm start. So yeah, so it is been shown. So I'll go to this src app test. I will delete index.css. I will delete logo. I will delete report. I will delete setup test. I will delete. So I will delete it and move to trash. I will do. Then in the index.js, we'll go and remove all those things. I'll remove this and remove this, remove this, and this also I will remove. Actually, this without this. Okay, so thank you, Ravi. So this we have done in the index. Now we are going to create some components. Okay, one second. So in the src, we are going to create a components folder, and in the components folder also, and in the one sec. So we need to have some image also. Let me see, where is the image? Okay, in the src we'll have a images folder also, and in this images folder, we'll have, it is not good to put it like this. It is reveal in finder. So in this images folder, I will put a users thing. So this users image is there, so that is there. Okay, so now in the components, I will create some of the components. One is add contact dot js, then contact card dot js, then contact list dot js, then header dot js. So this all things I'm going to have. Okay, so let us go to the app.js file. In the app.js file, remove these things, and class name will be also, which I will remove, and then h1 hello world. I'll do this logo also I have to remove. Okay, so hello world is coming. So okay, so we are going to use semantic UI also in this project. So let me come here and go to the index.html. So you can get the semantic UI from link from anywhere. So let me get the link. So I will put it here, semantic UI link in the head part of it. So see, it is already using something. Okay, so now index.html, I will close it. App.js, I will go and start showing some component. Maybe have something here, RAFCE, RAFCE, and RAFCE. Okay, save it. Now in this app.js, I'll go and here we're going to start using semantic UI. Okay, so class name equal to UI and container, and then we'll first show the header component. So it's good, it is coming. Then we'll show the add contact component. Then I will show the contact list component, and it will all these things will be shown like this. So now in the header, we'll put a bit of header here, and here I will come and class name equal to UI fixed menu, and live dot UI dot container dot center. So these things I'm going to use, and h2 is contact manager is there. So see, now it is been shown like this. Now in the add contact, actually in add contact, I'm not going to have this thing. I'm going to have a class based for a reason. Like you can use, it is not like the class base has gone away. You can use a class base also, a mix and match projects you can do. So class base I'm going to use, and here I'm going to use a form. So add contact will have a form. So we'll come here, and in the div I will have a class name equal to UI main, then h2 add contact, then I'll have a form dot UI dot form. So all of this are like semantic UI we're using. So this action will go away, and then div dot field field, and here I will have a label. Label will be name, and name, and in this, after this label, I will have a input type text, name equal to name. Since I've given the for, so I have to give the id equal to name, and placeholder equal to name. Okay, so this is there, and with this field, so let me have this field again. So copy and paste, and this field will be email, 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 and email, and this is email like this. And then after this div is over, we'll have a button dot UI dot button dot blue, and add will be there. Save it. So see this whole thing has been shown like this. So now we are going to this contact list, and in this contact list, let us have something here like class name equal to 𝐂𝐸𝐴𝐷 list 𝐂𝐸 list, and here it will be contact list. So something will be shown like this. Now that is there. Now at first we are not going to use local storage. In this app we are going to use local storage, so not going to use that local storage. First we are going to do the hard coded thing. Okay, so we'll come here and do a const contacts equal to an array of object we are going to have. So I'll have a id equal to 1 comma name is John, email is john@gmail.com, it is to Karen@gmail.com, and his contact list I'll pass a contacts equal to contacts equal to contacts. I'm going to pass. So I'm going to pass this thing. Now you'll go to this contact list, and here I will get this props, and maybe I'll delete this, and then props dot contacts dot, we're going to map through it, map contact, and not this, like this, and div dot item, and in this I'll have a div dot content, and inside this I'll have a div dot header, and this header I'll have a contact dot name I'll have, and then after this I'll have a div and contact dot email I'll have, and then after this I'll have a I, and I dot trash dot alternate dot outline, so dot icon. So this is I also, we can have a icon because of this what we are using, semantic UI. Okay, you can have this thing trash alternate, so that all these things are good. So see, like this we are going to see these things. Okay, so since this code is actually repeating itself and we have a contact card, we'll actually going to put that all of this code in the contact card, especially from where we are going to put this item, where we are getting this item. We will cut this from this item and we will put it here. I will put it here. Let me control set p save, and here I will get it as a props. Let me destructure it also, so that I don't have to use it again and again. Const name comma email is equal to props dot contact. I'll do, and so what will happen, I will don't have to give this contact dot name, contact dot email again and again. So this is like this. And one more thing I'm going to have here, I'm going to have some hard coded kind of a style like this. Color is red. Okay, because okay, so we have to add it from there. So in this contact, I don't need this anymore. Map contact, I don't need this also. I need a contact card. In this contact card I'll have a single contact I'm going to give, it is contact, single contact I'm going to give. But why it is giving me error? It is giving me error because this is not closed. So I close this, save it, and so it is now showing correctly. Now styling is not there, we're going to use the styling soon. Now is the contact card, we are again going to go, and we have an image of a person, like in the images we have a user image. If I show this images, we have this user image is there, so we're going to use that user image in the contact card only. So in the contact card, first I will do a import user from dot images user dot png I'll do, and then the item I'll do, and img I'll do src is user, alt is user, and class name equal to UI avatar and image. You have the image I will do, and save it. So it is showing like this. I will have one more inline styling, which is margin top is 7 pixel. Undo, and it is shown. Okay, so that is done. Now one more thing we need to do in the app.css. One sec. In the app.css, we are going to remove everything, and we're going to put this thing. So mean center, UI search, and all these things are there. So this is something which we are going to put, and the moment I will save it, see, everything will be fixed. Because in the app.js also we are using the app.css, so this will be fixed and it is showing perfect. So now we will add the logic to enter this. In this add context, we're going to add something, then it should be shown here. So that is the next thing which we are going to do. So I will cut it, and then this so don't need it. Add contact, I will go, and in this add contact, okay, so it is use the class based here. And first thing, we need to have on submit here, on submit equal to this dot add, it's just a form name, and then the name is there. Okay, but name, I am not going to use this name. Okay, name I'm not going to use. I'm going to use a value here. Okay, value, and value will be this dot state dot name. So this is how we do, but we should do it completely. But we should have this state first. Our const I'll do. In the constructor, I'll have a two states. One is name, which will be empty string, comma email, which will like in be empty string, like this it is there. And this is a state name placeholder is there, and directly you will do the on change here only. So why to do it at a different place? So on change will be equal to e will be passed, and this dot set state is name is e dot target dot value, e dot target dot value is there. And yeah, let me copy this and let me put it in this here, and on change I'll put it here. But the only thing which will change is this will be value will be email, and this will be email. So these things will be changed. So that is there. Now we have to have this add method. So we'll go here and do the add equal to e, and e dot prevent default, FAULT. Okay, e.prevent default, we need to do this thing, or else we know what happens if just will have a bit of small checking. If this dot state dot name is triple equal to empty string, or this dot state dot email triple equal to empty string, then alert will be done. All fields are mandatory and return, or else CLG. Just now I'm doing the CLG console.log this dot state. I'm doing save it. So let me first let me click it. Alert is coming perfect. Then I'll do a inspect. I'll do a console that will do later on a Bendu and connect a TWD, and it is coming perfectly. Okay, so it's coming perfectly. So this is working. So now what we want to do, we want to remove the hard coded value we want to remove, and we want to show instead of this the real values. So for this, in the add contact, what we are going to do, from the add contact we need to pass it in the opposite direction. Opposite direction is the app.js. So this is where the method as props comes. Okay, method as props comes. So we are going to have it here. This dot props dot add contact handler is this dot state. And also let us do like set state to, because when I'm adding it also this is remaining, so let us make it empty. This dot set state is equal to name is string, comma email is empty string, like this I have, and then I'll save it. So it will be like this, it will be there. So now we'll go back to the app.js, and we are receiving it back here as a method as spouse. What is method as well? I always tell that in my ReactJS class, beginners to advanced, which will be there next week. So add contacts and add contact handler equal to add contact handler will be there. Now okay, this we don't need, so I will remove it, and instead of this, const contacts, comma set contacts equal to use state of empty array will be there. Okay, so now const add contact handler, so which we have equal to, it will get the contact, then I will have a CLG contact, then I will have a set contacts dot contacts, because if I have something it should be taken with this spread operator contact. Okay, then I'll add this contact, so everything is like same. I'll save it. I see everything has gone away. Let us try to add something now. So name and connect, and it is getting add. Let us add something more like this, and it is not getting added. Why? Yeah, it is getting added. I didn't click it, my mouse has some problem maybe. Okay, so that is there, and inspect console. If you see, the objects are coming like this. Okay, so that are there, so they are added. So the next thing is that we are going to use local storage. Okay, we are going to use a local storage to save this thing. So where is the local storage? So local storage is in the sources. Let me make it a bit big. Application. So see, this local storage is there. Already have this contact because I'm using this thing. Okay, it's empty. That is good. So let me have this now like this. Okay, so local storage. So local storage is actually very easy to use, and it is a sort of a permanent resource because nobody clears their browser cache. If you're going to clear your browser cache, you will all your Gmail and all those things you have to enter again. So nobody generally does that. It's sort of a permanent only, but not as permanent as a database. Okay, so that is there. And for this, what we are going to do here, so let const local storage storage key equal to contacts. The local storage key will be contacts. Now the thing is that this contacts, there is one more thing is there. So it should be unique also. I was getting that error also, that key error. So instead of this, what I am going to do, how to take it unique. Anyways, I'm going to pass an object here, and it will be id will be contacts.id, contacts.length. Why contacts.length? Because initially it will be 0 and then it will keep on increasing, then dot 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 contact will be there. So now the next thing is, like, let me write some code. Okay, so much code. That this, we are going to have some use effect also. So see, in we are having two use effect. So this use effect is like component did mod, so it will run for the first time. So what I'm doing, retrieve contacts equal to json.parse. Json.parse is again a method. Local storage.get item. Local storage.get item, this is something which is provided to us by local storage. Dot get item, the local storage key you have to pass, and you will get whatever is stored here in the local storage. And we have to parse it because it comes the string. And if retrieve contacts is there, then set contacts equal to retrieve contacts. So I'm setting it, and this will run if I add some contacts like this. I will add some contacts, then this will run. So it has this contact. So I'm doing the set item there, and json.stringify. See, whenever we save something in the local storage or even the API, you have to add a string outside it. Okay, so that is there. So let me save it and see it closely. This is like empty now. Nabindu and connect. I'll add it. See, it has been added here. And if I refresh it also, it is there. It is permanent. Okay, so again it has been added there, and it is a permanent. So I'm refreshing it, then also it is not going. Okay, so now one thing is remaining, which is to how to delete this thing. So if we need to delete this thing, for deleting we have to go to the contact card. We have to go to the contact card, and this delete button is here. So means when the user clicks on this delete button, it should delete it. So maybe there is a lot of things here. I should have this in different lines. So Stein, then I'll have a on click handler will be equal to, see again, we'll do as a method as props. We're going to pass it from here, props dot click handler, and in this I'll pass the id click handler, and id will also come right now because we are passing the id also. So id will also come, but this click handler is what? Click handler is something which we are going to create. So this, let me copy this thing. And this contact card is not actually directly connected to the app.js, it goes through the contact list. So we have to go to the through the contact list also. You're passing props in a two-step thing. Okay, so here one thing is there. There was not a key, so key should be there. Key equal to contact dot id, and then click. So this is the prop name. Click handler equal to delete contact handler. So this is something which I am again making. So delete contact handler. So const delete contact handler equal to id will be there, and id will have props dot get contact id is there. Okay, so like this. So this get contact id is something again we are going to create in the app.js. So we're going to go here, and in this contact list we'll have this get contact id equal to maybe remove contact handler we are going to have, and then this remove contact handler, let us make it here const remove contact handler. We'll get the id, which is important. We'll get this id, and then this id, what we are going to do, const new contact list equal to contacts dot filter contact is like this. You can have it in one line. Contact dot id not equal to id. Contact dot id is not equal to id. So all the contacts which are different, it will be selected that. Okay, so that is there. And then set contacts is new contact list. Save it, and if everything is right, delete it. It is one. See, it is deleted from here also. Refresh it. It's deleted from here also. Deleted from here also. So our second project is also working fine. It's time to go to the next project, which is that API project, which I'm going to do, and I'll do it. And cd dot dot npx create react app final space. So we are going to do an API call in this project, final space. So let it be done. Okay. cd final space and open it with VS Code. In the src I will have a, let me have a new folder img. We'll have some images here, so that's what I'm creating. Reveal in finder this images, have some images here. So I have this images. Okay, yeah, so let's go ahead. And the first thing is, as always, we're going to delete all these things which Okay, so I'm sharing again. So hope you're all able to see now. So this was a nice break. Someone was asking for break, so this was a nice break. So let us do this final thing quickly. And as I told, there no break is needed from your side because we're not going to anyways give the certificate right now. You have to complete the project. So you can see the recordings also. You can see the recordings also. So I think I think break given. So because there were some issue were there, so I think break was given. So yeah, so let us do it quickly. So again, I'm going to delete all these things like this css also I will delete, and this one also I will delete all the things, and all the things are being deleted, and I'm getting the error because the error is there. Then in index.js will go again. I'm going to delete this thing, I'm going to delete this thing. Index.css is not there anymore, and this I don't like because or else the code not this. Okay, so it will be like this. Then app.js will go, and in this app.js, okay, I'm again going to remove this thing, and I'll do a hello world, and this is container is there. Then I'll save it, and cannot resolve logo because logo is not there. Save it, and the hello world is been shown. Okay, so in the header, give me one sec. So in the components we'll go. So images I have already taken. So in the src I will take a components folder, and inside this components I'll create my first component, which is header.js. Header.js, it is race as always. And then I will also import logo from .img, and logo.png is there. Then here I'll have a header. So we are using we'll use the API endpoints here. Okay, we'll call the API endpoints here center, because this is a final project which I'm doing. After this, Hari will do two projects, img and src. I will have a logo, and all it is logo. So this is done. Now app.css again, we are going to have okay. So this app.css again, I'm going to replace it completely. App.js, we're calling this app.css. I will copy it, and I will show it also. So we have this, I'll save it and see all this background and all are coming because of this app.css, because we have a background which is taking from the bg.jpg, and the color and all are given. Then this a is there, then this container. I'll slowly move it, then the button, all this we are going to use soon. Button, header image, then this center. So search is there, input type text we are going to use this input type. Then cards is there. Okay, and in this I'm using a card is there, card h1, card image, card inner. Okay, so here there will be one more thing. When I hover my mouse over a card, it will actually it will rotate. So that's why I'm using this preserve 3D and all. So this also are there, and media, I think media is also there. Okay, so that is there. And now we are going to go back to the app and we will show a nice header. So header we are already done. HEADER header component, and it will show this finances. This is coming from a logo which is there already. So now in the app.js only we need to use Axios also. So we're going to use Axios, not fetch API. So I'm going to use Axios. It is sometimes much more easier than fetch API. And PMI Axios. I've opened the integrated terminal because my npm start is running there. So I've opened it, integrated terminal. So then after this, it is done. Then we will go here and do a const item comma set items equal to use state, like this. Then const is loading comma set is loading. Okay, equal to use state, and it is true. You state true, loading and is loading is there. Okay, so I think everything has been done. Now we'll use a simple code to fetch the items. So this is something which we again teach many times. So we are using this functional component. So we have to use a use effect, and in this use effect there are two ways to do it. Either you can do it async await through Axios, or you can do it then and catch block. Let us do with async await this time. And this have to be running in the component did mount way. So we will do this thing, and then const fetch items equal to async, like this. Then const result equal to await Axios. Then let us get this from the final space API. Final space API docs. Okay, so where is this? Okay, so this one is the API endpoint. So yeah, so this is the API endpoint. CLG and result dot result dot data I will do, and then okay, so fetch items I'll call. So we have to call this like this. Okay, fetch items. We'll do this. Let us save it and let us see whether the data is coming or not. Inspect and console. Yeah, the data is coming perfectly. So now we can show the data. The data is coming perfectly. Now we are not going to show it here. So we are going to show it in a different component. So we are going to create that component. Okay. So here we'll go in the components and we'll create a card grid.js, and then here RAFCE, and in this card grid we will get two props items comma is loading is there, items comma is loading, and then this return is there, and then is loading is it's not, and here If is loading is true, then we'll show a spinner. Maybe right now I'm show a text like h1 and loading and dot dot dot. And if it is not true, then we'll show the whole component, which is like section dot cards. And so this all these things are there in the style sheet. So items dot map, items dot map, and it will be item, and here call it and card item. Card item is something which we have to create. Okay, card item is another component. So this is how we should actually do card item, and key equal to item dot id, and item equal to item equal to item. And as I've told, we have to create this card items. So we'll go here and do this card item dot js, RAFCE, save it. So we have to call it like card item, save it. So this will be there. So this all data will be there. So let us do the card items and all. So card items is just like a simple whatever we're getting back from here, it will show all those things. Okay, so why to do that? Okay, so we will have a card item. In this card item, we will get this item. Okay, we'll get this item, single item, and we have some of this css which we already have, this app.css, card inner and card front. So as I've told, we'll have a rotating thing. Card front will have this image.url. This is what we are getting from the endpoint, item dot url, image url, item dot name. Name is the species, origin, status, abilities. I'm taking the first ability, so 0 I'm taking. So this is how it has been working. So this is how the whole thing is there. So I'll save it now. What I need to do, I need to just go here in the app.js. I have to go, and here we have to show this thing. Okay, so first thing is this result.data is the data. Then we'll have a set items, which we have. Set items is result dot data. Then set is loading is false. Okay, set is loading is false. And then we'll go here and do a card grid. I'm calling it the card grid, and is loading equal to is loading, and items equal to items, like this I'll do and save it. And okay, items equal to items, it should be items, not item. Items should be there. Okay, so that is there, and if I save it, if everything is right, see, I will see this. And the thing is that, as I was telling, the front card is coming, and if I hover my mouse over it, it will be showing this. This thing is coming because of the css. Okay, thing is coming because of the css, and that is okay. And we are going to end it here only. And with this, okay, I have completed 3 projects. Now it's hurry will be there. And okay, so Hari will do the next 2 projects.
Hello everyone. So I hope that my voice is audible for all. So can you give me the comment whether my voice is audible or not? Just give a comment. Okay. So I think like hope you have discussed a lot more things in React.js, right? right? So till now we have completed around three things in React projects. Right now what we're going to do, we're just going to create two more projects. So that is going to be an concept oriented learning. Okay, so what's mean by concept oriented learning? Like it is going to be like from scratch, like if you are new for an React.js developer, so what should the project you need to choose, like that. It's like that, no? So that is what we're going to do. So very soon we're just going to start. Okay, so just give a minute. I will replace it. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible for you also. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so we're going to do for two projects. One is for the one is for this one is for the reminder, and another one, birthday reminder, is going to be there, and another one is going to be the tourism place, like that. We're going to work with some of the APIs, and we're going to see the actions and all. We're just going to see. Okay, so just a minute. I will cover my works. Okay, just give a 1 second. Yeah, okay, sorry for that. So a little bit quick start here. Okay, so we have completed three, and we're going to show two more else. Okay, sir, I need break. So I think right now only we, when Abidu sir's system is get hang, we just produce a break, right? So I'm not able to do that. Okay, so if you need break, just go and come back very soon. Okay, so that is from my side. Okay, so because we're going to do that uh, okay, so we're just going to do that very quick. If you need break, just go and come that, but I'm not going to stop. Like you can just speed up your videos, and that you can see, that means it will be available for you. Okay, okay, so I just taking my notes. Yeah, okay, so the what is the first project is going to be, sorry for the person who asked me break. Okay, so what is the first project we just going to do? Like I just create a folder, and two project inside it. One is going to be the birthday reminder, and I just created my app inside it, the birthday reminder, and I just going to have all the folders inside it. Okay, so that is going to contain within my app. Okay, so I just click it, and I will explain with the structure itself. You can have a better understanding when we work with those applications. Okay, so the next, yeah, so this is going to be the app structure, and you can notice that this is going to be have a node modules, and we have a public folder here. More the things that inside the public folder we don't want, so I just going to delete that. Okay, so once you do that npm create react app, all those things, you just something get like that only. So like what all other things you will get means like something like these things like public src and that, and there are so much of things will be available there. Right now we don't want anything, we just want only one thing, that is going to be the index.html. That is what we need, and in the src file it's going to be everything is going to be there. And here also we don't want much. What are the things we need means, we need this index.html, and this is going to be the index.source file, we don't want that, and that this test file we don't want that. And what are the two things I'm having, one is going to be app.css and app.js and index.js. That is more than enough. Okay, so I just delete everything, and I just going to have a minimum thing, because I just do some of the setups previously by using css and all, because I don't going to teach the css now. Okay, because this is going to be react, right? So we just run with it with the live server. I just say npm start, npm. Okay. So what are the file we have means, inside that we have only index.html, and we have src, and in the src we have index.html, app.js, and css, app.css. So in the css file I just created the CSS file, what I did, I just created the previous default things for my application, what I going to do. So the previous like the default CSS is going to be here. Okay, so just a minute, sorry for that. Okay, so this is going to be there, and we have app.js. In the app.js we don't have much, but we have something like the tour API and all we have. Okay, so this is going to be the tour app, that is we're going to see in the next thing. Okay, so wait a minute, just delete this, go for my app, and this is going to be the birthday app, and here we don't want this and we don't want this. Okay, so the next in the src folder, what are the thing I need? I need the index.js, and I need this data, something that data we need, and we don't need this app.test, and we need this app.js and app.css. These are all the 4 things we need. Okay, so go with here, open with live server, like open with the code to work on with. Okay, the same. Yeah, okay, so it's get started within a minute, and we just go and work with the code and all. So what's first thing what we're going to do, like we're going to see about, we're going to create a reminder for our friends and persons who we really want to wish, like we want a reminder. Okay, so that is what we just going to see, like it says like, so that not found birthday dot reminder, and several errors, compile errors or other, that we're going to look into it. Okay, so yeah, so first of all I just go for the index.js. Okay, so in index.js it loads so many things, but we actually don't need all the things. We need only, we don't want these things. We need the react thing and to react, and we need the react dom, that's it. Okay, so that's all for, that's what we need. Okay, so after doing that we are rendering the app. So in that app.css we have something called, this is going to be the app. Okay, so this is going to be the app.js we have, and it says throw me error that the app is not found. So inside the index.js, what we're going to do, we just going to import app app. Okay, so now it's, now it says like cannot resolve logo.svg, it throws something like that, and web vitals something like this. No problem, we just remove this. Okay, so logo.svg. Okay, where is the logo we have been used? Okay, we go for the app and we can check for this. So in this app.js we have that imported something. So this is because of the default like when I use the create react app, it download all the dependencies, and it can download all the structures it need to download. So that is what it happened. So right now you just imagine like I have an index.js, and this index.js is going to get the root element from the index.html that is available in the public folder. So okay, so in this folder you can notice that there is an div with the root element is available. Okay, you can see a body with the div, the root element is available. So inside the root element only, whatever the thing we are giving, that is going to be inside. Okay, so that's all. And in the index.html, what we are doing by using the react dom, we are fetching that, and we going to say that whatever the thing I need to show you, that you need to render it. So right now what I did, I just say render whatever the render the component of app, right? I know that you know the basics of react and all, so we just get started. So I just imported the app app.js from the app. So here whatever I just going to, here it's going to be a functional component, so whatever I going to give, it's going to be inside it. Okay, so for that we know that we just say simply hello, and you can notice that the hello will be displayed here. Okay, so what happening, so whatever the thing I just give inside it, the index.html will be rendered here. Okay, so that's it. And also app.css, I need to mention that. So you can see the default, some of the works has been done. So that default work I already pre-planned. Okay, you can see I just already pre-planned. I just simply want to use this classes to get those tailing. Okay, so that is what, because I'm not able to cs I'm not able to code the css and all right now. Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, so now we just go for the work. Okay, so what I say, like, we're going to create a reminder for our birthday wishes. Okay, so that is what we're going to see. So for that I have a data, so that is what inside this data.js you can notice that this is going to be the data. I just exported by default, which means I can give whatever the name I want in when I am importing. Okay, so I just, if someone calls this data.js, you need to export all this by directly. Okay, so that is what we just coded. And you can see here what it have id, it's going to have a name, and it's going to have an age, and it's going to have the image of those person. And these the data what I need to render here, and I need to list it out. And also we're going to create a button. If I click this button, that all the data has to be clear out. So that is going to be our first project, that it is going to be easy. So in this project we can learn like how to use map, like how to use the javascript ES6 classes, and we can use what is state and what is props, and we can able to understand how to work with those data and all, and we can understand and how we can learn like what is reusable components and all. Okay, so it is a very good beginner level project. That is what we're going to see. Fine. Okay, so yeah, so for that what I just going to do in this app.js, what we just going to do, we just going to import several things. Okay, so we need app.css. Fine. So before that we need one more thing here, we need react. Okay, so import, I just going to use this import react from react dom, and also I just want to use the state hook. Okay, so I just going to use the use state. This is going to be the use state hook. So because we just going to work with some of the virtual DOM works, so that's therefore I need that. And what the next thing I need the data from the import data from /data. Okay, so I'm just importing data by the name of data. I'm importing this variable like this file. Okay, so whatever we are fetching, that we can able to access here. For example, here I just say console.log, we can go for data, and if I just click and go for inspect and console, you can see we have an array. That array contains all our information. Okay, so which means our modules that we have, our JS file is successfully imported here. Okay, so that's it. Okay, we're going to use this file only, and then we were going to work on it. Okay, so the next thing what we're going to do, we just going to load another component here, that is going to be the list component, that we're going to create it soon. Okay, so before that I just going to import that too. Okay, so I just say import. Okay, import list from at list. This is going to be in the list.js. Right now it's not here, so it's going to throw me an error. So what I'm going to do, I just going to create an something called as list, list.js. Okay, so in this list.js, what I just going to say, I just want to import I just simply say react from react. Okay, so this is the thing we need. And I just say if someone returns thing like you need to call, this is going to be the list component. Okay, not that list. I just spell it correctly, function, and I name this component as list. Okay, so and if someone calls this return something. Okay, so this is going to return something. Just a minute. Okay, so it is going to return something. Okay, so then what I just say, export default list. If someone calls this, you need to default list. Okay, so here I just say a div. Okay, so by now I just going to create something called as div. We just going to wrap it, and here I just going to say like h1. Okay, here I can say hey. Okay, so that's it, we have done. And this list has been export default. We need to import default this list, and this list is going to be imported here. I just going to use this component. So this is going to be the reusable component. Okay, so I just going to call the list. Okay, so it's going to be the self-closing tab. Okay, so it is going to be the self. I get just a minute. Just give a minute. I will be back. Okay. Hello. Sorry for guys. Some unavoidable emergency. That is why I just went. Okay. Sorry for really sorry for that. Okay. So I just share the screen. So this is where we need to render those lists. Okay. So right now it's not working. Like we need to check that why. Okay. So it is going to be the render. Okay. From list. This is going to be like we can use the function with const, and I just going to say list. something like this. Okay, so we need to render that, and we will see that how to do that. Okay, first, before we just complete these things, and we will go for the list thing. Okay, so whatever the things I just need means, here we need to create a section. Okay, instead of that, we need to create a section, and we need to work on with this CSS library. Okay, so we have something CSS is there, and based on the CSS we need to create it. Okay, so right now we just go for the app.js, and we need to create those containers. Okay, so right now I'm just going to create the container based on that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so what are the things we need this is going to be the function, and it's going to return something, and here inside that we're going to render several things. First component is going to be the main. Okay, so why I'm using this main, because I already said that I used the CSS in the library, so that is what I'm using the main. And here I just say section is going to be there, and the section is going to be here, and in the section I just going to use the class name. It is going to be the container. Okay, so this is the default class name I just give, so I just going to give the container for this. And the next what I going to do, I just going to have the h3. Okay, so I have the h3, and inside this h3 I just render several things. So right now what I going to do, I just going to give a default value. This is going to say like birthday, like how many of them going to have the birthdays today. Okay, so this is what the birthdays today, and this is going to be here. It is going to be the header, like how many of them do, and we need to change this dynamically. So after setting the state and all, so the next what we going to do, we just going to import the list. Okay, so we need to import the list, and we look into that what is throwing that, and we just going to import the list, and it going to have some of the props and all, and we're going to work on that too. Okay, after implementing that, we're going to have a button. Okay, so what this button is going to have, so this button is going to have an on click event, and that click event is responsible for clearing all the list. Okay, so I just say on click on click event, and this button is used for the clearing those event, and we're going to run an callback function here. Okay, so right now I just say console.log. If someone clicks this, just in the console just say click me. Okay, so this is what we need. Okay, so this is the basic setup, and we need to set up some of other things too. Okay, so before that we go and work with the list, and we just come here. Okay, so in the list.js, what we need to do, like I just say in the list, go for here, it is going to be here, like it will be displayed like right now the list will be perfect. Okay, so list.js, everything is perfect. So in the list.js, right now what I'm going to do, instead of he, I just going to say like here we have the list, right? So here we have the list, so this is going to be that. Okay, so that's it for here, and we going to use several other things. Okay, so right now we go for the app.js, and we work on the state. Okay, so what is the state we going to have, like we're going to have only one state. Okay, so I just say const, and that state is going to be the people. Okay, so whatever the name you want you can give, so I just going to say people, and I just want to set people. So this is going to be the destructuring, I'm working with those state. Okay, and I just going to say people, and here I just going to say use state, and here I just going to say use state. And in this use state, what I just going to do, I just going to pass those data I'm fetching from this data dot where in the data.js. Okay, so where we have this, we have this, right? So I need to copy this, and I just going to paste it here, which means here we can say data. So which means I'm just pausing this and which means I'm passing that data file into that use state. So that which means we are destructuring it. So now the people is what data. Okay, so the all the, if I say console.log data, then it's going to be console log data, it's going to be whatever the data we have. Right now we say people, if I say console.log people, then also you can notice that all the data in an array, it has been fetched, right? So this is going to be fetched, and we see about like we have some errors in class name, right? Yeah, so this is why the styling also not work, right? Okay, so this is going to be the styling. So the next is what we're going to do. Just a minute. Amma, Okay, so that is what we're going to do. Okay, so this is something like that, and console.log. Okay, fine. So we have people. So the people, now what is that? This data is going to be there. Okay, so this is going to be the container error. We have the container and all, and whatever the data we having, that we going to what we're going to do, just we're going to pass it to the list and we're going to render it here. Okay, so that is what we're going to see. So before that, what I'm going to do here, we need to change it dynamically. Okay, so how to change this dynamically? So instead of saying here, we can say like inside that h3, we can able to access it. I just going to use the JavaScript people dot, and you can notice that we have length property for the array. So what it will do, it will returns the length of an array. So here I just going to say the length. So if I save this, you can see dynamically changes. So why it says 5? Because I have the list of 5 data. You can notice that because I have the list of 5 data. So if I increase that, it will, the count will automatically increase. Okay, so that is what it's going to do. And index.js is there, app.js, come to app.js. Okay, so here it is do. So the same like that. Right now what I'm going to do, so I just going to pass our data into another component. So by passing data to one component to another, what we can use, like we can use this list statement. Like, so we can use the props. Okay, so we can use something called as props. So in the props, I just going to pass this. I just say people. I just say people, and what I need to pass, I need to pass people. So which I get from here, people. This is what I need to pass. So POPLE, like everything is paused. So right now I have access to this people. So how can we access it? In the list.jss, you can able to access it. Okay, so how I just going to access it? Like for something you need to say props. Okay, so you need to say like props, and you need to access it by using by saying props dot people dot something like that. What I going to do, I just going to get that by destructured. Okay, so which means I destructured those variables. So right now I can use it. So I just going to say here people, instead people dot name, something like that. I'm checking that whether it is working or not. Okay, okay, so we need to like we are not able to say something like this because that is going to be in an array. So I just say people 0 dot people. Okay, so like we need to give this thing, this is going to be inside an array. Okay, so right now we have access for the first name inside it. Okay, so this is what we need to do, like it will be working. Okay, so then what I need to do, I just remove this. So we have a h1. So I just go and we going to loop through that entire website, and we need to, what we need to do, we need to fetch all the data and we need to display here. Okay, so that is what our priority is going to be here. So I just going to do that. Okay, let's see how we can do that. So instead of div and all, I just remove all the things. Okay, here I just give this map method, and I just going to use this JavaScript file. Okay, here I just say people. Okay, so the data we are fetching from the props, and I just say people dot map, and here I just go and say like whatever the function we need to do. So what the map method will do, the map method runs on each and every function and it will return certain things. Okay, so that is what it's going to do. So I just want to pause that item. So here I just say person. So the person is going to be the value, it's looping through each and every value. So I just getting the person. Okay, so here I'm pausing it. So right now what I'm going to do, I just going to destructure again. Okay, because we don't want to say people dot name, people dot age every time. Instead of that, I just want to destructure it. How can I destructure it? I can simply call the const, and I that for it is going to be an object. So I'm going to use the object destructuring method like id comma name comma age comma, and we going to have an image. Okay, so this is going to be there, and we need to tell that what we need to destructure. So the person, which is we get from the, which is we get from this what this parameter. Okay, so which is going to be each and every element of that entire data list we have. Okay, so we just right now we destructure it, and right now we can use wherever we want. Okay, so here I just say return if the function runs. If the function is going to be run, we need to return something. Okay, right now we are use inside that, I just say return. Okay, inside that return, what I going to do, I just going to return a component. Okay, so here I just say article. Okay, article, it's going to be my component. Okay, So sorry, we need to return with the braces. Okay. Okay, it's showing me what happened. Right. Okay. So it's going to be have the return keyword, and in the inside this return only. Okay. Right now I just used and keyword. Fine. So here I just going to say whatever the things I need to return and all. Okay. So here we're going to have map method. So inside the map method, each and everything runs and we need to return it. So here I just going to say article. Okay, so this is going to be the article. So inside this article I just going to pass a key. Why I'm using the key? Because each component has its unique identifier, so I just going to use the key. So right now you notice that we have id for each and everything, that is going to be the index of it, so we can use that. How can I use that? I just pass that id, so it will just remove the error of key. You need to pass a unique identifier, that error will be get removed. So that is what I'm using. And here I need to give the class name. Okay, because we need to give some styling, and here I just going to say the person is going to be the styling. Okay, so this is going to be the person. So inside this article I just going to do several things. So instead of order you can go for div everything. Okay, so here I just do some of the default css, that is why I'm just using that. Okay, so come on, this image. Okay, so here I just going to use the src, and here I just going to pass out src. Here what is the image we have? We have the image, we have the image. Okay, so which we get from here, and here we have alt. Okay, so if you don't pass the alt, like if you miss any syntax of the html, if you don't pass the required elements, and then also you can get an error. Okay, so make sure that. And I just pass the name. Okay, so alternative is going to be the name of the image, and here inside that I just going to create another div. Okay, so inside the div it's going to be the name of the person and also going to be the age of the person. Okay, so I just going to say h4, and in this h4 I just going to mention this is going to be the name of the person, and in the h4 and here we're going to have the paragraph tag, and this is going to be the age of the person, so which we get from the person. Okay, so this is going to be there, and we are pausing that. Okay, so we can just reload it. Can get right now we have get everything, but you can notice that these are all the data that we actually have that. But you can notice, like, how can I check that? If I go for the data.js, and instead of this I just what I going to do, I just copy this one and I just going to put it in here. Okay, so I can change several things. Okay, so id is going to be 6, and here we can give pwd something like this, and I just give that, and I just save that. Sorry, here, and we can just save this. Go for here, go for here. You can see this get updated and we get the twd, and don't look at the image because we don't change that. Okay, so it is get automatically updated, and this is going to be the birthday reminder. And right now we have a button, so if I click this button, that button need to set it need to clear everything. Okay, right now you can notice that it will be blank because we don't give anything inside it. Okay, we just go for app.js. Okay, so here we can say clear. Okay, so we are done. We can give this clear. Okay, if I click this button, what need to happen? It's need to run a function, and that function has to clear everything. So right now I just use the click button. If someone clicks this, you need to show click me. Okay, so that is what I just say. Like, don't look at this error because this is because of the extension I'm having. Okay, you can see the click me is running. So instead of it, it need to clear everything. Okay, instead of it need to clear everything. How can I do that? So here we can remove this console. Okay, so here what you need, if someone click this, you need to set people. Okay, so what this method will do, so this set people method, this set people method is responsible for setting those data and all. So here we can give this is going to be an empty array. Okay, so right now we do that, we can check it out. You can see it will empty everything. Okay, so then it's going to be cleared, then every data that inside it will be cleared. You can notice if I click this, you can see it will be cleared. Okay, so that is Okay, so that's it. Okay, so this is all about here. So have a look back here what we have done. So this is going to be a great example for using props, using the use state, and the next one is like how to use this JavaScript and how to work on with the CSS and all. You just understand. Okay, so what we have, like we have, this is going to be the state. So if I use the use state, so what is going to have, it going to have two things inside it. One is an initial value, and another one is going to be a callback function, a function to set that initial value. So if I say people, and if I say set people, and the people is going to be the value we're going to pass. So what is the value we pass? Like we pass the value data. So we are sending the data which we fetched from the data.js. We are sending that, and we have the set people. The set people is used to set a function. Okay, so inside that we have created a section, and we have created h3, and this is going to be the people.length. What is going to be people going to be the data is going to be the array of we pass. So if I say length, so the length, we have the default property and we can pass it. Okay, so this is going to be the birthday today, and we have the list, and this is going to be the component. Okay, so what is meant by component? This is going to be reusable component, like wherever you want you can use it. Like for example, you can use further, you can go for further division, you need to go for that, you can go for that. Okay, so if I click this, how it will be set? Because I say that set property is going to be the function of it. If someone clicks it will be do that. If I click that, what happened? I need to make that entire initial value. We have several things. Right now I just want to empty that array. Okay, so all the array, if I use anything, that will not work. Okay, so then what we have something called as list.js. So in the list.js we work with couple of things, like we know how to pass a props. So if someone pass the props, instead we can destructure here itself to get that props, and we can return it, and we can say people.map, and this is going to be the person. So it is going to loop through every element, and it's going to return an array of element. So we going to destructure it, and we're going to say what you need to do, what you need to return. So that is why you can see this function is going to return this, and inside this map method, that is going to be returned this. Okay, so this map method going to return something called as this. Okay, so here it is returning an article div, and inside that we pass all the essential thing that we need to pass. How it comes like this? Because I used the default CSS. Okay, so not default CSS, I already created the default CSS. That is why it comes like this. If I remove that, then you can see what coming here. Okay, so instead of here, we can go for data dot like app.js. So instead of that, we just remove the CSS. We just comment off here, and you can notice, you can see something, this will become. Okay, so this is how it will be fetched, and by using the CSS only, we do those decent alignment, and we will come up with this naming code. Okay, so this is all about here. Okay, so this is all about for the first one. So the second one is going to be same looking like here, but we're going to work with the API. So we're going to work with the tour API, and we're going to add some other functionality to it. Like we're going to how to use the conditional rendering, how to work with those event, all those things we're going to see. Let's go. Okay, okay, for that, what I'm going to do, right now I don't want this one, I just want another one. So I just remove it, go for the React folder, and here we have the tours. Okay, so in this tour, I just open this app. Okay, so I just open with code. Okay, I just remove this. Okay, so I will explain whatever the thing we have. We don't want this SVG, and we need this app.css. That is going to be our default CSS, the same like the old project what we have done. The same, it's going to be there. The CSS is we need, and I added another thing in the app.js, that is going to be the URL. So this is going to be an API. If I just copy this, it is going to be a custom API created by some developers. Okay, so you can use that. It's going to have the ID name like how we created before, like we have created data manually, right? The same like that, it is going to be an API, and instead of this API, you can use whatever the API you want. Like I think the previous third project Abhidu Viswasar used the Pokédex, I think like some APIs, right? The same like this is going to be an API also. Okay, so by using that API only, we're going to work. So I just going to use this API by you, and it stored it in a URL variable. Okay, I done that. So the next what I did, several things I have been done here, and we need to go for the CSS. We have the custom CSS pre-built, everything will be there. And you also notice that you also notice that I delete everything. So I just want to go for the index.html to remove all those error. So I just want to remove this. I don't want this, and I don't want this web vitals, and I don't want this index.css, and I just need the import app, and I just want to I just want this only. Okay, so let's go for the terminal, and we can say npm. We just going to say npm start. Okay, yeah, it's get starting, takes a little bit time. Okay, so after doing that, you can notice that some of the default styling is applied to here. Like you can notice that instead of white, you can see some of the default styling is applied. So that is because of the css we have done. Like if I go for the body, you can see the background color, we have something called as grays here. So that is the color we have used, clear gray dark. I think this is what we are using, and you can also see that font. Oh, this is something rendering something. Okay, so where it is rendering, like this is going to be the index dot, and we go for app. Here you can see it is rendering here. So instead of hello, if I say welcome, you can notice that, right? So this is going to be here. Okay, so right now what we're going to do, inside the api we are going to have some of the data. So we just going to look on with those data, and we're going to work on with that. The first thing is I just going to set, we're going to work with some of the asynchronous of javascript, like async and await. We're going to see how to fetch the data and all, and it's going to take some time. So for taking that time, the page need to wait, right? So for that I need to do a loading thing, which means loading state. Like you see that is, like until the page get uh, full loading, it shows something lazy loading, right? So that is what we're going to see. Like here I just going to create and full a name called loading loading.js. So this is responsible for when the data get initiated. So this is going to be very small data, but it's going to fetch, then it's going to show that. Until after that it's going to remove that. So that is what we're going to see. So it's going to have loading.js we're going to have, and we're going to have a mediator, not in this here. Just a minute, close this file, we never touch this. I just want to create another folder in here, that is going to be the tour.js, and this is going to be a component. Okay, so this is going to be loading component. This is going to be the component that's responsible for those fetching everything. And here we're going to use another component, that is going to be the tours component. This is an component that inside the tour component. Okay, so I just going to use the tours component, and we have app.css, that is for css, app.js for that is going to contain all our combined components, and index.js is for main, and we're going to have tours and loading. Okay, so this is what we need. So right now what we're going to see, we just work on with the loading. Okay, we just work on with the loading, and then we move on to that. And before that, instead of loading, we go for app.js, and we just finish up the basic setup. Okay, so app.js right now I just have only welcome here. So instead of that I just going to set more things. Okay, so I already said we're going to do two things. So for that we need two props. Okay, so I just going to work on that, and before that we need to use the modules that we need to import. So I just say import react from react, and here I can say I need an use use state think, and after that I need use effect, because I just going to use that too. Okay, use effect hook too. So these two things I need, one is use hook and use state, and another one is going to be use effect. And another thing what we need that all the components that right now we have created but nothing inside it. So we need loading. So for that I just say import react from react, and here we create a function in the name of loading, and here we can pause it, return return, it's going to return something, and that is going to be an h1, and here we can say hey. Okay, hi, and here I just going to say, and what I need to do, I just want to default export default this loading. Okay, so export default this loading, or otherwise you can go with this expression type also, you can go with that. And here I just going to say import loading from loading. Okay, so that's it. And here I just, in the return statement, here I just going to say loading, import those loading. Okay, so like this. Okay, so right now it have hey. Okay, so we imported that. The next what we going to have, we going to have the tours also. So I just go for the tour. Okay, not for tours, it's going to be tour. Okay, so another component inside the tours going to be here. I just going to say import react from react, and just create an function, and in the name of in the name what we can use this for tours. Okay, so in the name we can give it for like instead of tours we can go for tour, we can go for tours. Okay, so we have remove this, we have this, right, we can use it here. Okay, so that is going to have single, this is going to be the plural, that is why that is not at all a matter, you can go with whatever you want. Okay, so I just going to say return, and here I just going to say an h1 hello, and also I just want to export it. So by default I just going to use that. Right now I just going to test everything, I need to set up that structure, I just using that. Okay, so I just export default, it's going to be tour, and I just going to copy this, go for the app.js. I don't want this, I just want the app.js. So in the app.js I want to import it. Okay, so I just say import, here we can say tour tours from dot slash tours. Okay, like this, and here we can use this tours dot slash. Okay, so it says an error because every component has to be nested inside and single element. Right, so it is going to represent everything. Fine, so we have done with that. So the next thing what we're going to do, we just send that, and we get everything whatever we need. So the next what we're going to do, we just going to set up the state. Okay, so we're going to have two states, one is going to be the loading state, once it is going to be loading, like the data fetching moment, so it is in the loading state, so we're going to set for the loading state, and also we're going to set for the like the data state. Okay, so two things. So for the loading state I just say const, it is going to be loading variable, and I just say set loading, I just say set loading equal to, we're going to use the use not effect, use state. Okay, so use state, and here what I'm going to do, I just going to set by default it as true. Okay, so which means like you can understand like when we do the logic. Okay, so if I say true means like I'm going to use it. Okay, so this is going to be in action, like I'm going to use the conditional, and that is why I'm using that. And here I just say const, and inside that loading I just going to add this tools. Okay, so this is for the tools like after that fetching data and everything, that is going to be here. And here I just going to say set tools, and this is going to be set state, sorry, use state, and this is going to have the empty array. Okay, right now nothing inside it, but we're going to access it and everything, we're going to store it in everything. Okay, and also we need some other things too, but right now it's fine and we can move on that. And next what we're going to do, we're just going to work with the function, and that is going to work with the asynchronous concept. Okay, right now what I'm going to say const, so this is going to be a function, so I just say fetch tools. If fetch tools, I just using the arrow function. Okay, I just using the arrow function, and inside the arrow function I just going to use the async method. So why I'm using this async method? Because it is going to be a time consuming process, time driven process, so I need to use it later on. So that is why I'm going to use those arrow functions. Okay, so I just going to use this async, and also inside that I'm going to use the await too. Okay, you can understand. Okay, here what I'm going to do, here I'm going to say, right, set loading, it's going to be true only. Okay, you can understand why I'm saying this. Okay, so before that, what I just going to say, const response. Okay, so const response equal to, we need to fetch data from that. So this is going to be an time consuming process, await. And here I just going to use the fetch API. Okay, so I just going to fetch every data from the URL. So I just have the URL here. You can notice that it will be, right now the color will change. So right now I can able to fetch everything. So this is in a JSON format, I need to parse it everything. Okay, so I just going to say set, this is going to be the tours. Okay, I just going to set the value as tours equal to response. I just say await, I just need to wait for this because this is going to be a time consuming process. And I just say response response dot json. So what this json method will do, it will pause it. Okay, so right now what we can check, whether we can check console.log, like everything is getted or not. Okay, so if I say tours, okay, so let's go for here, go for the inspect. It shows me so much of errors is being here, right? Undefined is not literable, like so much of error is there, and we need to look into that. And before that, we just remove this, just remove the set state. Okay, so what are the errors showing? Like it's above occurred in the app component, like okay, everything is here. Okay, so we will use that and we can move on for the next. Okay, so we will remove everything one line by line. Okay, so we can remove that, we can remove that. Okay, so it shows me undefined is not an variable in the symbol, the trait and type error. This is not at all a matter, undefined is not an issue. Okay, fine. Okay, so I will write the logic and we can go for that. So right now we have created a function and I need to run this function. So not like directly changes, so for that I just going to use the use effect. Okay, so use effect, and here I just going to call and callback function, and inside this callback function only I just going to run this, and with an empty array as an initial value. I need to pause that, and here I just going to say fetch tools. This is going to be the function that need to run. Okay, so I just open the console because I need to check whether all the errors are gone or I need to work on it. Okay, so right now just look into that. Next, what I just going to do, I just going to set that, right? So right now it is showing something like that, right? Right now it's fetching correct only. So before that we need to set something. So I just going to comment this. Okay, I just going to comment this line, and you can notice that, oh, it's still throwing me an error. What? Why? And it's a loading is used, but it says like it is not in use. Why? Okay, we can take this, import loading from loading, that's it. Okay, so here I'm using that loading. It's going to, okay, 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 inside this loading we're going to have, okay, fine. Okay, so we just work on it and then we move for that. So what I just going to do, I just going to write the logic for this and I just going to look into that. Okay, so we do one thing, like here we have create and another thing. What I say, if this loading we are using here, right, it is going to be true, this is going to be true. Okay, so by default it is going to be true. So if it is going to be true, then I need to return something. Okay, so here I just need to return something. That return is going to be an element that is going to be the main. So I am using but for CSS purpose, and here I need to pause the loading component. Okay, so here only I need to pause that loading component. So right now what we can understand here, like if I make this to false, then it's not going to be rendered here. Okay, so if I make this to false, then it's not going to be rendered here. Okay, so okay, okay, so the thing is, I noticed that like we use the use effect here, we need the use state. Okay, loadings, just a minute. Okay, it's going to be the const, and we're going to say to's, and we're going to have loading, just a minute. Okay, I think we state both the things the same thing, that is why, that is what happening here. Okay, we can go for here. Yeah, okay, so don't care about the errors right now, we can complete that. Okay, so I just said both the things the same thing, that is why it's showing so much of errors here. Okay, we can remove that, we can work on that, and we can remove that too. Okay, so the next thing what I going to do, and if it is going to be loading, then it's going to be true, then it's going to be display that. So if I change this going to be a false one, then now you can understand that it is not going to display it, it's going to display something else. Okay, so I just going to say true. Okay, so this is going to be true, and this is going to be return something this. Okay, so this is what it's going to do. And the next thing what I'm going to do, I just going to create another if, and I just going to work on that too. Okay, 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 okay. So what we can do, we can create an if class here, and we can go for another if class, and we can check for the length, and we can do for that. And here I just going to say if to's dot length, if to's dot length is equal to, it's going to be equal to 0, then what you need to do, if it is the fetching value, it's going to be equal to 0, then you need to return, you need to return something, and that component is going to be the main one. Okay, so and inside that we're going to have a div, and inside that we have going to have a div, and inside that we're going to have a class name, and here I just going to have the to title. Okay, so and here we're going to use several things like h2, we're going to have the h2 here, and here I just say no tours are available. For example, if the API does not work well, and if that doesn't have any data, and we going to use this. Okay, so for the query purpose, and here we can use the button. Okay, so here we can use the button thing also, and here we can use the class name, it is going to be the btn, and also it is going to be the on click, it's going to have an on click, it's going to have an on click event. So inside that I just going to say if it is going to be there, and you need to fetch that date, fetch from fetch tools. Okay, so this is the function we just comment of fetch tools. Just copy this, we going to use it here. So if it is not here, that we need to use that. Okay, so this is going to be here. Okay, so on click is there, button is here, and we need to close this button, and we need to close this button, and inside this what we can say, like this is for refresh. Okay, so this is for the this is for the refresh event, don't care about that. So this is for the reference event, and next we're going to have this one, this tour is going to be there, and here we're going to say main, the main is going to be there, and here I just cut it, and I just going to pause it here. Okay, so that's it. So now come for the logic. So right now we have created several logic here. Okay, so right now we have created several logic here. You can see that it will be send all the data in the console.log. That is what we have implemented here. So before that, what I need to do, like I just going to use the try catch method. If there is any error is going to be here, I need to fetch that, and I need to use that. So how can I use that here? Before that, I just going to again set every time that loading, every time the function runs, that loading has to happen. So for that, every time it's going to be set as true. Okay, so and here I just going to mention the try. Okay, so and we going to have the catch one. So the try is going for the work, and the catch is going for the error. Okay, so I just going to try it, and I just going to catch for the errors. So in modern JavaScript we don't want to use this parameter also, but it's just for functional you can use that. Okay, so here if it is going to be run correctly, then you need to set this loading to be false. Okay, and you need to throw the error to it. So here we can say console, what the error we have, you need to pass it in the console. Okay, so but if this data is fetched correctly, then we don't want to show the loading state. So for that, what I need to do, I just want to set the loading state to true, no, false. So if I do that, then what happened? So we're going to write a logic for that. So if it is going to be true, then what happened? This state is going to be rendered. So if it is going to be false, the state is not going to be rendered. Okay, so right now here we can say loading something like this. Okay, so if it is going to be true, then it's going to be render that. If it is going to be false, it's going to be not render. So right now, for example, if I remove this, you can right now what is going to be, it is going to be there. Okay, so right now you can see loading is there. Right now we have loading is going to be there. Okay, we going to have loading inside it, and you can see if I make that state to false, once the data get fetched correctly, then I need to make this state to false. So then this is not going to be run. So if I do this now, right now you can see no tutor left, no tours left. You need to refresh it. So if I refresh that, then you can see again the function is going to be run. Okay, so this is what happening. So this is what we need to do, and the next we need to do set to. So once everything is done, we need to update this tour one. Like we have this tour, right? So we need to set that to. Right now we have empty array. That is why every time I log it, console log it, it will give me an empty only. So inside that set tour, I need to pass the value which I gave from the parser one, like which I get from the API. So I just save it, and right now you can see like hello is displaying. That is not a problem. So we can make this to true. Okay, you can see this is going to be loading, and if I make this to false, so which means it's everything get done, it's automatically going to be a false one, and it directly going to return me everything, like every data that we are fetching here. Okay, so this is the process of fetching it, and we're going to work on that. And if without the strike catch also you can able to work it, but we can wrap it, right? So we can wrap it like if it is going to be success, then you need to do that, and if it is going to be error, you need to do that. So we have try catch, then instead of if else you can go for here. That is going to be a very better option. Okay, so the next thing what I going to do, I just going to pass this data inside and another component that is going to be our tour component, that is we wrap it. Okay, so I just say tours equal to, here we're going to pass all the data we are fetching from right now we say console.log tours, right? So that is why it say where we simply say console.log, though, because it's showing me in the console. Okay, so instead of console, I need to pass those variable inside this component. Okay, so as a prop. So that is why I just say tours inside it. Okay, which means I'm passing this props, the every data to the tours variable. Okay, and also here we're going to have another thing that we're going to see later. So right now we just go and work with the tours component. Okay, so we just go for the tour.js. So that is where our app is rendering. So I just go for the, not for tours, we just want to go for the like tours, where we are pausing it, for tours. Okay, yeah, we are pausing it for tours only. So we need to go for the tours component. Okay, just a minute, we can go for the tours.js. Okay, so we don't want this loading right now. Okay, we just close it here, and we can go for the tours dot. So right now we have hello only, but what we're going to do, we just going to get this props here, and we're going to use it here. Okay, so that is what we're going to do. So I just going to use use the destructuring one. So here I just going to say use the destructuring one, tours, not caps, it's going to be tours. Okay, so whatever the data you are getting here, I just want to destructure this. Okay, so I just want to destructure it. Okay, like this I just destructure it, and here what I'm going to do, I just going to return something. So in this return I just going to use some of the method, and I just going to work on that. And here I just going to say, for the css we're going to have a default containers and all, so that is going to be the section. So inside the section I just going to have a div. So in the div I just going to give a class name. Okay, so the class name is going to be the title. Okay, so the class name is going to be the title of it, and inside the class name I just going to have an h2 tag. Okay, so this is going to be, say, the heading of it, our tours. Okay, whatever you need to plan, you can go for that. And here we can give, I just made and div. Okay, so a decent style for here I'm using an underline style, I'm using that is why I'm just using this div. So inside the div I just going to say class name, it's going to be underline. Okay, so because I used a styling called underline, that will give a neat underline for this div. Right now I save this, you can see it will be work here, but it will not in center, right? So this is because we missed some of the css style. This is going to be our tools. Okay, so the next what we're going to do, inside the section I just going to create another div, and inside the div only we're going to render all our information. Okay, so I just going to render all our information inside the div only. So this is going to work with some of the components. So for that we need another component, that is going to be the tour component. Okay, so for that I need to import the tour component. Okay, so we need to work with the tour component. Go for, here we have created the tour component. Go for here, nothing right now, we don't have nothing here. I just want to say import react from react, and here we can say, so here only we going to do several things. Okay, so but right now I just going to say function, and this is going to be the tour, this is going to be the tour of the component, and here we going to use the arrow function to work. Okay, so simply I can say return an h1 right now. Okay, so why it's dim, return an h1. Okay, so and I just say export default, and here it's going to be 2. Okay, so I just want to import it in the tools component. I just say import tour from the tools. Okay, so that is what I'm going to use it. Okay, so just in minute. Okay, okay, I'm back. Right. Okay, so inside that only, that tour component, inside this tools only we're going to use the tour component. Okay, so we see that. We can go for, so inside this tour only we do have this data, right? So I just going to pass as a prop to that, and I just going to work on that. So how can I do that, means like how can I do that? Simply I can say, I can going to say, right now we have two things that. So first we pause from the tours.js, and then we can go for the tours and we can work for it. Okay, so I need to pause everything, and I need to pause and every data individually. So I just going to say, I just going to write a JavaScript. So that is why I just use that, and I just fetch the tours and map it. Okay, so whatever the information you are having, I just want to run it, and here I just say, so it's going to work with each and every individual thing. So it is going to work. So here I just say element like that, and here it's going to return something. So what it's going to return means it's going to return a component. That component is going to be this tour component. Okay, so here we can use that tour. This component is going to be the tour component, and what I'm going to do, I just going to close it. Okay, just going to close this. Okay, right now I just close it. So what are the thing I just going to pause here? Before that, it is going to be mapping, so I need to give a default key for here. So I just going to say tour dot id. So for which one? For the key, because it is every time it is going to run. So for the key, I just give it's going to be the tour.id. Going to be the tour.id, and I'm pausing it. So the next thing what I just going to pause, I just want to pause everything. I just want to pause everything that inside. So how can I do that? I can use the spread operator, triple dot. So I just copy it, and I just going to pause everything what this tour has. Okay, so just pause the parameter and each and everything inside it. Okay, so that is how we need to do. So then we just go for the tour and we just work for here. Okay, we can work for here. Okay, so here inside the tour we're going to access those as a, we have the props, right? So inside that right now we pausing this props, right? So we are pausing this props. Just a minute, just go for tours. So inside the tours, what we are do, we pause the key and we pause, we just copy it and we just sending it everything, right? So that is what we're going to do next. Like we're going to get this data and we just going to work on this. Okay, so that is what we go. So just go for the tools.data. So I just going to destructure everything that what I'm getting. So I just going to have an id. Yeah, I need to going to destructure it, and after getting that id, I need an image that is going to be in the link. I just want to destructure, and I just want to be the info. I need to destructure it, and I just want to the name of the person. I need to destructure it, and I just want the price of the person. I just want to destructure it, and I just want to, that's it. So and after that we see the remaining things, and here I just go for the return statement, and here I can give image. I just give an a do. Just consider right now I'm checking whether it is working or not. Okay, so I say like image I can go for src equal to, here we can pause this image what we are fetching. Okay, so if I save this and see that it is not working. Okay, we can go for alt and we can use the name of it also. Okay, so it will say like compiled with a problem, built, failed, use the straight to. Okay, it is, so it is throwing some error, like it's throwing some error. So what is the error it's throwing? We need to check into it. Like, okay, sorry for that, I'm using my hamburger. Okay, so I just save this, and what is this one? Errors are gone. Right now you can see I can able to fetch everything, which means the data is pausing fine. So we work on that, and we just want to load every information here. So that is what we're going to do. So I don't want this, I just go for the professional way. So I just have article is going to be an HTML element, and I give several class name for here. So just the class name is going to be the single dash tour. So this is the class name I used for that. Okay, so this is going to be the single class tour, and here I just going to use the image of it. I just going to say image of it, and here what I need to do, I just don't need to close it. Okay, so I just say src equal to, and here I just going to notice the image of that, and alt is going to be the name getting from the API. It is going to be the name getting from the API, and after that image we going to add a footer for this. This is going to have a footer element. Okay, so I just going to close it and wrap it, and inside this we just going to have a div, and I just close it and wrap it, and inside the div element I just going to give a class, and inside the class name I just going to say tour dot info. This is going to be the class name, and inside the class name I just going to give whatever the essential thing we need to fetch from the API. We just going to do. So in the name we just going to want the name of the place that we going to for. So I just fetch the name. So right now we use the name and we use this ID for the key. We used that. Right now we here we don't want that, so I just used the name. So the next thing we used that image also, but it is not working, so which means I made a mistake. So this is going to be the image. Okay, so the image and name is used, and we need to work with the info and the price. So what is going to be the info of it? Let's see that. Okay, so I just going to say like the name. After that name I just going to add the price of it. Okay, so I just going to save class, and here I just going to add some of the class name. Okay, so for the price, so this is going to be the tour price. This is the function I just, this is the class I just used. So tour price, this is going to be the tour price. And here what I need to render, I need to render the price of it, right? So I just want to render the price of it. It is going to be mentioned in dollar, and here we can mention the price of it. So we just copy this, and we can go for the, we can go and paste it here. Okay, this is going to be the price of it. Okay, so the next what I just going to do, after doing the search for, I just going to create another div. Okay, so no, I just not going to create another div. Instead of the div I just close this, and I just going to create a paragraph tag. So this is going to contain all the information of that thing. Okay, so here I just going to set some of the state. Okay, before that I just go and manually do that, and after that we can set all those things. So this is going to be the info of that. So the next what I just going to say, like I just going to work on with the button. Okay, so final thing. Okay, so final thing is going to be the button of it. Button. Okay, so button, and here we can pause the button. We have some of the class name. I give the class name is going to be the delete one. Delete btn. So this is going to be the class name. Okay, so the next what I'm going to do, I just going to say not interested inside this button. Interested, this is going to be the button. Okay, so if I save this and come here, I can notice that it is still pretty ugly. So which means I just made some of the classes error. Right now it's fine. Okay, so these all are the things we have created right now. Okay, so there is still more to do with this project. Okay, so we have still more to do this project, and we can go for it. Okay, so right, so then what we need to do, you can see that we have so much of information, right? So I need to conditional, by using the conditional rendering I'm going to use and read more button. Okay, I'm going to use the read more button, and I just going to display minimum one. If it is needed, the person come and click it and he can view more. Okay, how can I do that? So where I'm doing that, you can see the info is responsible for that. If I remove this, you can see nothing is inside that. You can see this is the responsible for that. So we're going to work with the info as a conditional rendering. Okay, right now it will be fine. So right now I just want I don't want these things to display. I just want something these to this, it's enough for me. And after that I just want to say read more. If someone clicks that read more, then it need to show fully. Okay, so that is what I just going to do. So I just remove this. Okay, so I just going to write a piece of JavaScript code here. So that is why I just going to use the curly braces. Okay, okay, so we use the conditional rendering and we can work for it. Okay, so for that I just going to set a state for it. Okay, so go for here. Where is the function? This is where the function is going to be here. And yeah, this is going to be the function, and here I just say constant const, and here we can say read more. Okay, so this is going to be the initial value, and here I just going to add and call back for this read more. Okay, read more. Okay, so here I just going to use the use state. Okay, so and you can notice that it will automatically implement for us. So and I just going to say what is the initial value? It's going to be false. Okay, so initial value for this read more is going to be false. Okay, so I'm going to work on that logic only. So I just say like, if the read more, it's going to be true. If it is going to be true, then you need to show the info. Okay, if someone clicks that, then it need to be true and you need to show the entire info. Or else what you need to do, what you need to do means, I just going to work with some of the template letters. I just uh use this. So inside this, I just going to parse the string. Okay, how can I parse the string? We have the substring article, we need to parse. Like, I just say info and I need to parse it. So I just going to use the method in string, that is going to be the substring method. I just going to use here, and here we can give from which index to which index. So 0 to up to 200 words, up to 200 index you need to parse it. Okay, you need to parse it, and also after the end you need to show this. So if I save this, you can see it get parsed. Why? Because this is going to be, read more is going to be false. So if it is going to be true, it is going to be show me fully. If it is going to be false, then it's going to be show me the parsed variable of it. So for example, if I change the value false to true, okay, so now you can notice it will give me fully. If I change this to false, now you can notice it will give me parsed variable. So this is conditional rendering. So instead of changing manually, I'm going to use a function to change it. So what I'm going to do, I just going to use a button here, and that button is going to responsible for the read more option. Okay, so after running this, inside this inside okay, inside this, I just going to create a button. Okay, so this button is going to have an on click event. Okay, so here we can give, what we can give means, we need to show that conditionally. Okay, so because if it is show more, then we need to say show less. If it is show less, then we need to show display show more. Okay, so that is what we need to do. So I just say on click. If someone clicks this, you need to say set set uh, read read more set read more to false. Right now it's going to be false. Set read more to true. Okay, set read more to true, true. Okay, so here we can use the conditional rendering. So I just going to use the JavaScript inside it. So here what I'm going to do, if read more, it's going to be true, which means read more is going to be true. Then you need to say show less. You can click the button show less. Then what would happen, it will if you click that button, it will set the oh right, no, we don't want to pause this to defaultly. Instead of that, what I need to do, I just want to change that opposite of it. So opposite of the read more, opposite of the read more state. Okay, so if it is going, read more is going to be true, then what happened, it's going to say show less, right? So if I click that, then what happened, then the read more is set to false. Okay, so that is what going to happen. And here we can pause the variable less more, no, read more, show less, and read more. So this is going to be have the read more read more. Okay, so if I save this, you can have the read more. If I click this, now what happened, so by default it is going to have a false. That the for that reason only the read more is going to display. So if I click this, now what happened, this read more, that on click event set the false to true. So then it's going to show me so less, and also it's going to show the entire info of it. Okay, so if I click this, you can see, right? So this is the logic behind the set read more and set less everything. Okay, so this is the logic behind these things. Like you can, yeah, you can use that. Okay, so the next what we're going to do, well, just a minute. Okay, so next what we going to do, hope that we just going to use the delete button. Okay, so we're just going to use this not interested button. So if someone clicks this button, it is going to delete that. Okay, so that is the functionality we just okay, so that is what we're going to do. So for that, so where the button is here, so the button is inside this one, right? So the button is inside this one. So where it get paused, so it get paused in the tours element. So where this tour element, it's in the app.js. So we need to work on from app.js to here to remove this. Okay, so for what I going to do, I just going to run a function for here, and I just going to do that. So how can I do that? So go for here, I just going to create a function for removing that thing. So here I just say const, and here I just create remove tour. Okay, so I just create a variable remove tour, and here I just going to pass the variable with an id. Okay, so that is going to have an id, and that id it's going to be why I'm passing id, because if I click this one, I need to delete this one itself. So that is why I need to pass the id, because that is the unique identifier for changing those id. Okay, so I just going to use that, and here I just going to use the const, and here I can say new tour. So this is going to be another variable. So this is going to be the new tours one, and here I just say tours dot filter. So I just going to use the filter method. Here what I going to do the condition, if the tour, so whatever the element I'm fetching, if the tour is going to be true, then it's going to set the set tours equal to new tours. Okay, so I will explain what is this new tours. Okay, so I just going to say that. Okay, so you need to pass the set tour. Inside the set tour, you need to pass that. So what I'm saying means, I just going to filter that. I just going to, if I delete, I just going to delete that, and then that arrays get updated. So once the arrays get updated, then what you need to do, you need to set you need to, right now we have empty array, how we pass every data by using this, right? So that is what we're going to do that here. Okay, so here it's going to send the updated one. Okay, so here where I just going to pass, I just going to pass this as a props for this one. Okay, so here I just going to say remove tour. I just going to pass this entire function inside this. I just say remove, and here we can say tour for it. Okay, so this is going to be the remove tour for it, and where I'm passing it, I'm right now you can notice the loading also, right? If I save this, if I refresh this, this is going to be the loading state, and it will be giving immediately. Okay, if there no variables get paused, then you will have the refresh button. Okay, you can see loading loading. You can give a decent animation in the front end page, that is also work. Okay, so I'm just pausing this remove tour. So for the tours page, so here we're going to work on with this remove tour function, and we're going to use that. Okay, so for that, first we need, right now we only fetch the tours only. So right now what I'm going to do, I just want to fetch the remove tour, or remove tour also, where here what the name we given. So I need to fetch that here also, like this. Okay, so right now we are accessing it. So here what I going to do, here actually we are not going to do nothing, we're going to pass it. That is something called as props drilling, because I need to work this on here. Okay, I need to work this on here. So I need to pass the variable who has it. So this is called as something called as props drilling. You can use the context API for that, but this is pretty advanced for this one. You can use it for someone else. Okay, so here we can pause, we can get that, and we're going to pass it for the another child component. I just say remove, and I just going to say remove tours. I just going to say remove tour for here. Okay, remove tour for here, and I just say remove tour. Okay, so this is going to be the remove tour for here. Okay, so I'm just passing this props as another props for the tour.js. So here I just going to use that. Okay, right now only we have that delete button. So if someone clicks that, so based on that we need to do some of the JavaScript things to work on it. So okay, if someone clicks this button, so we need an on click event. Okay, we're going to say an on click event. Okay, so inside this on click event, if someone clicks this button, something has to happen. If I say console.log, I can say, we can check that, go for the inspect, go for here. If I click this, you can see JH has been displayed. So then it's going to be fine. So this error is not from our code, it is from the this is from the JSON that we are fetching. That is not at all matter. So here instead of console.log, I need to delete that particular, I need to delete this, which element I'm clicking, which component I'm clicking, I need to delete that. So how can I do that? Here I can call the, before calling that, we need to get that, right? So actually we get it or not, here we don't get it. So we need to get that from the props that comes from the tools. So I just say remove. So what is the destructuring value we are getting? You are getting remove to. This is going to be the props that we are getting. We are not using this, so I just going to say remove to. So here inside this is going to be the remove tool here. So I just going to use the id. You can notice that the id is still empty. I just going to pause the id here. Okay, so now what happened if I pause this id? If I click this function is get evoked. So this function, where it belongs to, it belongs to app.js. So right now we have remove tool here. Go for here, this is going to be the function. So I'm passing an id that is getted here and it will be work. This is going to be the id here, and the id, what it will do, it will just say new tour, tours.filter, and here I just say tours, and that is going to filter every variable that is going to be, and it's going to be set the new tour variable. So if I click, you can see nothing. So I need to write the logic for deleting that button. So I need to write a logic for it. Okay, so how can I do for that? If someone clicks this, we need to run this remove to. Okay, so go for here. We can pause the, if someone clicks this, we need to run this run this remove tool. Fine, so the remove tool is running. So here where we need to go, we need to check everything we have written or not. Like we have written everything here, we go for the tours.js and we check like we have worked with everything or not. So inside the tour.js, what we have do, we just want to return that remove tour. That is what our duty. So here we have returned that remove tour what we have fetched. So this is going to be returned here, and we're going to have the app.css, and in that app.js file we need to say like which is what is the thing like we need to do. Okay, so here we say tours.filter, and I simply say set the tour. So here we need to work on with the tours id, and we need to do that. Okay, so instead before that, instead setting the tour, we need to write the code. So this code is going to responsible for deleting that. So how can I do that? So right now we're going to have access for that which element. If I click this, you can get that element. For example, if I say console.log, okay, so if I say tour, okay, so this is going to be the parameter, right? So go for the inspect, go for the console. Okay, so don't worry about this object rendering right now we are having. If I click okay, okay, so we are not able to access it. So fine, so we will work on the logic and then we can move for it. So we can say const new tour. Okay, so we need to set that what is going to be the new tour it's going to be. Okay, so like we have already fetched that, like const new tour is going to be, okay, I made a mistake here. Like const new tour is going to be tours dot filter. Okay, const new tour is going to be the tours dot filter, and it is going to be doing something that tour, and here I need to say what it's going to do. Okay, so I just write an you can notice here I write an callback function again and again. Okay, so this is not good. Like what I'm going to do, I just remove this. Okay, here I just use the filter function, and you can still remove this too. Okay, so this is going to be the tour. Okay, so inside the tour, what I'm going to do, I just going to set the new tour. Okay, so the new tour is going to be the deleted version of the old one. So which I click that, that is going to be the deleted version. So that is going to be the deleted version of that. And here I just say tours. Here I just going to say tours dot filter. So the tour something that we get from the here. Okay, so this is the array. So you need to filter from it. So you need to filter. So here what I'm going to do, I just open that, and here we're going to say tour, and inside the tour I just going to say you need to filter it out without, like, you need to say tour which id I'm passing, which tour id I'm passing other than that. Okay, so not equal to that id. So which means I'm passing an id. Okay, I'm passing an id, leave that id, that's it. Okay, not equal to that id means then you need to set, that set tours to, sets tours to the old new to. Okay, set the new to new to, and if I save, and right now it's loading, it's coming. If I delete it, you can notice that that will get deleted. So how it is working, if I delete everything, you can see our page is going to be refreshed. So why, how this will show? So this is the logic we have written previously. Like if the tours dot length is equal to 0, okay, so right now the length is going to be 0, so then you need to return this div dot right, and you need to return this, and here we have a refresh button. If I click this, then what happened, this function is going to run. So this function fetch everything again, and it's going to display it like this, and the loading it's going to be show here. Okay, so that is, and if I click this, you can see it will be deleted. So how it is work, like what I say, I have the tools that is going to be the entire data. You need to filter it like everything if that equal to that ID. So right now, if I click this, this is going to be the 0. Okay, so 0 is not equal to ID. Which one? Everyone. So it check for the 0th one. So it is equal to that ID. Then it returns false. So that that thing is not going to be come into that value is not going to set inside it. So all other loops going to get set inside it. Okay, so that is why every time I'm clicking that, you can notice that it gets deleted. If I click this, this is also get deleted. Okay, okay, you can see. So these all are the functions that we have created. So here you can, if you willing to use the context.api to escape from the props drilling, you can use it. Whatever you want, you can use that. So this is all of the two projects that we have created, a decent one. So I just give a sum up here. Okay, so what I did, like we going to have several components. One is going to be the loading component that is responsible for when that page get reload, because we're going to work with some API, so it's going to be going to be taken some time consuming process. So I just going to use that, and I have an tours. So the tours is responsible for fetching this data and all. Okay, and I going to have a custom API. So that is the API that I get already have a link that you can get it here. Okay, so I just going to use the use state is going to be true. So by default it's going to be true. Okay, that is what I set by default. And also the tools is going to be an empty array, so by default, and this is going to be by default true, the loading statement. Okay, so just leave this right now and come for here. I just created a function, and that is going to be an asynchronous function, because it is going to be a time consuming function. So I need to control the flow of that execution. So I just use the async and await to control the flow of it. So I say like set loading is equal to true. So if it is set loading is equal to true, then this if classes will be run. If it is going to be true, then it's going to render a component that is going to be the loading component. So what is going to be the loading component? The loading component, we go here, you have here. So the loading component only have this loading. Okay, so if you want to give some of the decent emojis, if you love to give, if you love to pause, you can pause it. Right now if I refresh it, you can see you can pause like this, and whatever you want you can pause it. Okay, so if it is going to be true, then it's going to be render it. Okay, so if I run the function, that is going to be true. By default it is also going to be true only. So if I run that also, that is also going to be true. So here I use the try method. So I just going to run a particular function. So if it is going to have some network errors and all, you need to use the catch, and if you don't have any errors and all, then you need to use the try method. Okay, so that is why I use the try catch. So here I say I just want to get the information, all the information, and I just store it in a tours variable. And after that, if the information all get, so the getting information is the time consuming process. So until I get the information, so this process is going to be wait, right? So it is going to be wait. After completing this process only, I going to all other code gets executed. So that is why after you get all the information, you need to set the loading to false. So if I set the loading to false, then what happened, this if becomes false, so this not going to render, so this loading state will not going to render. That is why it is automatically disappears. So after that, I just want to set the tours to tours. So which means right now we have an empty array, so I'm taken that empty array outside and I need to send the data that I'm passing from the API. Okay, so that's it. And here we have set loading, that is going to be the false. If it is going to be error, then that is going to be false, because I need to show that in my console. So I just say that is going to be by default false. Okay, because I don't want to, if even though that is an error, if it is loading mean there is no use, right? So if it is error, then you need to don't you just want to, you do not want to render that element. So I just say that to false, and you need to tell which error you are facing. That's it. Okay, so and here we use the console.log true, that is why it's showing every time, so we don't want that. Okay, so the function ends here. So here we use the use effect to, like when we need to run after completing those things, so that is why the use effect we run, and we just pause the function inside it. Okay, we just pause the function inside it, then it will be work. Okay, so and here we added that if in case of the tours.length is going to be 0, so whatever, if in no data is going to be there, then you need to render this. Okay, so inside that, what it's going to be, we're going to have a title that no tours left, and here you can have a button. If you click that, then it's going to run this one, and it's going to get it's try to get whatever data you want inside that. Okay, and it's by default it's going to return the tour, and in the tour element we're going to have two things. One is going to be the array we pass, and it's going to be the remote tour. So the remote tour we lastly see that is going to be with the, that is going forward the removing an element from an tours. So inside the tours dot element, what we are doing, inside the tours dot element, what we are doing, we just created our tools and basic things, and we do a mapping thing, which means we just map each and every data, and we send those data to another one, that is going to be the tour. So this render this element, tour element, and here we can destructure it, and we can use whatever thing, whatever the place where we need to use, we can use it. And I just it returned that element. Okay, so it returning that element, so then it comes here, it is going to return that element, and then it's going to be displayed here. Okay, so that is what is happening. So and also we set for the read more, this is going to be the conditional rendering. So you can, by using the conditional rendering, how can we set, that is what we see. And this is going to be the props drilling concept that we little bit we have discussed, and we have discussed about the this one, like using the conditions like if else, and also, and you can use that, and you can use the loading, like a cute animation loading we have. Like if I load that, it takes some time, so until that it's going to show that, and it's going to be do that. And further improvement, you can use the lazy loading concepts to load for a couple of seconds, even that function, even the data is fetched, you can use that, and you can work on that. Okay, so these are the two projects that that for completion. Okay, so we are done with that. I think I completed very soon all the two projects. So that's all for all the 5 projects of React, you can use it. Okay, so I hope that if you have any doubt, you can personally contact in the LinkedIn, and you can put the post or how you feel, how the section is going, everything, and you can post it there, and we will be there in LinkedIn to help you. And we also have our blog website, have a look into it. You will get everything there. Okay, so thank you for all, thank you. So thank you for attending this bootcamp sections, and please give a like and subscribe for the YouTube channel if you really feel like it is worthy. Then that is a motivation for us. I think from the time we are hosting this live section, we reached our 5k subscribers, and I hope that you want to be the next subscriber to our channel. Thank you so much for attending this session, so do that. Okay, so see you guys, see you tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to have an advanced section for JavaScript we're going to work on with. So it is going to be the continuous section of the previous classes. If you are if you are from my JavaScript batch, I welcome you for tomorrow also. Tomorrow we're going to have from 8:30 to 9:30. We're going to have for the next 2 days. We're going to work on with some of the advanced concept that's going to blow your mind. So we see you tomorrow.